Spectacular, Sunday on NBC.
From our studios in Rockefeller Center, here is Stone Phillips.
Good evening. In thousands of years of human history, the world has never seen anything like tonight. People of every language and culture linked in celebration. It's past midnight already across more than 2/3 of the globe right now, and while people everywhere are out partying, you might think the best place to greet any new year is right in your own home, raising a toast with the people you love. If that's where you are tonight, take a good look around. In a few years, you might not even recognize it. Here's Margaret Larson.
And what of the kitchen of tomorrow? Push buttons open and close refrigerator doors.
50 years ago, some of the best minds thought the home of the future would look like this.
Menus and recipes are projected on color slides on a large screen.
Where kitchens were smart and food was fast.
Cooking meals in 60 seconds by radio frequency.
Meet George Jetson.
Then came the Jetsons with rocket cars and bubble-shaped houses in space. But hey, even that might not be so far out, according to the folks dreaming up the latest gizmos for the real-life homes of tomorrow, where the vacuum never needs a push, the dog never needs a walk, and the refrigerator practically stocks itself.
Just comes right onto this fridge door, click on what you want.
Craig Mundy is a senior vice president at Microsoft. Their high-tech ideas are tested out in an experimental house at company headquarters in Redmond, Washington.
Welcome to the Microsoft home.
Wow. We didn't just look at the house, we talked to it. We're going to talk to the house?
That's correct.
It even has a name.
In a friendly sort of way, decided to call this little place the Taj Mahal.
And because all of its functions, from the appliances and heating system to the TV and lights, are linked by a high-speed computer, it can obey voice commands.
So, for example, I could say, Taj, set lights to off, and the lights go off.
Voila. But that's just the start. The house is so smart, it can even teach you a few things. Check out the study where the piano is hooked up to a special site on the World Wide Web. It can play whatever you want.
I can change the voices.
You can make a whole orchestra. Or give you a lesson. Results, of course, are not guaranteed.
Oh, wrong.
Oh, I hit the wrong note. But while we're on the subject of learning, take a look at the kids area, complete with a computer that interacts with you. It actually is keeping an eye on Craig and following what his hands are doing.
And so when I clap my hands, it basically makes the cymbal sound.
Technology that might someday teach kids about music and other things long before they can operate a computer keyboard. So you're playing, you're learning rhythm?
Right. And I'm basically just doing it, by moving my hand.
But what about the busiest room of the house, the kitchen, with what might be the most powerful fridge in the universe?
And you can see I've got a message board. So if your child comes home from school, they can actually immediately write a message and send it to you wherever you are. Hi, Mom.
And I can see this whether I'm at work or on my handheld computer in the car or any place I want.
Right. I'm home now.
Wow. Not only can the refrigerator send messages, its computer can even order groceries online for home delivery. So in 30 seconds, you save me a trip to the store,
right,
paying for the groceries,
right,
hauling them home.
That's correct.
So what do we have here? Then there are Microsoft's so-called smart objects that need no complicated setup. You just plug them in. Whoa, it's changing.
It's actually changing.
A picture frame that scrolls through your favorite digital images. Even a tiny video camera that works something like a baby monitor.
Be able to watch your kid if you were at work and somebody was staying with them and you wanted to be able to look back at the house, make sure everything was okay. So this is like the family room, the entertainment center.
And if you want news and entertainment, all you have to do is ask.
Taj, show Web TV. 600. See?
Web TV, which is in business with NBC, lets viewers watch TV and surf the web at the same time. It can even stop time.
And if you look at this television show I'm watching, I now have the ability to pause it. So here's live television, and I actually can say, stop the TV. I want to go to the kitchen and make some popcorn. So I just paused live television.
Can you do that?
I just did it. You see it.
That's right, you can stop a live television show in its tracks, then pick it up later right where you left off, all on your schedule. Companies know consumers want to save time and simplify chores, so they're working on designs to do just that. Like this robotic lawn mower, which cuts your entire lawn and then automatically recharges itself. Or this robotic vacuum cleaner that cleans the entire room without you breaking a sweat. Or this food analyzer that calculates the nutritional value of the meal you're cooking. And an electronic tablecloth with special plates to keep food hot and glasses to keep drinks cold. Now let's say you want the ultimate no-muss, no-fuss pet. No problem. This robotic dog does almost anything a real dog can, except there's nothing to scoop. Even the garage has gone high-tech. This one connects your car to the internet and your home, so any computer in the house can tell you when it's time for a tune-up. But don't get too comfy. This whiz-bang stuff is mostly in the development stage. Nothing's perfect, not even Taj.
Taj, served coffee now.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm on break.
It's on break.
Right now, Microsoft is building a new and improved version of its Taj Mahal with even more high-tech features. That house will be unveiled later in January 2000. Up next, aging gracefully, new medicine for the new millennium, when we come back.
More on life in the new millennium when Dateline 2000 continues.
If you put something off for an entire year, how would people describe you? Lazy? A procrastinator? How about smart? Introducing Mitsubishi's 000 till 01 event. Buy any Mitsubishi and pay 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2001. Hey, why do today what you can do? Mitsubishi's 000 till 01 event ends January 3rd.
Most daily shower cleaners leave oily-looking residue on Kron, but Shower Shine leaves nothing but shine. Use your head and get Shower Shine from the scrubbing bubbles. They work hard after every shower, so you don't have to.
Skiing sure made me hungry. What's for lunch?
Clam chowder.
Condensed soup for adults now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso clam chowder. It's got more chunks of clams and hearty potatoes. And it's creamier. See the difference?
You're right. This is better.
I told you. So, you ready to hit the slopes?
Ready to go.
Maybe now you're ready to get off the bunny hill?
It's time to go to the better taste of Progresso.
Why pay for it by the minute when it's all right there in front of you? Introducing Sprint Unlimited. You pay by the month instead of the minute, and what you get is unlimited long distance, day and night, for $65 a month. No per-minute charges, no monthly surprises. Just unlimited calling up and down California and all around the country. Sprint Unlimited. You might want to look into this. Switch to Sprint at 1-800-PIN-DROP.
Is your asthma really under control?
Yeah, but sometimes I wheeze.
Ever wake up short of breath?
I do.
Use your fast-acting inhaler more than twice a week.
I use mine every day.
If that's what you call control, ask your doctor if prescription Flovent is right for you. Flovent twice a day helps control the inflammation that can cause asthma symptoms in the first place and helps improve lung function. Flovent won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden attacks. People switching from an oral steroid like prednisone to Flovent, an inhaled steroid, need to be especially careful. While adjusting to the switch, your body is not as able to heal after surgery, infection, or serious injury. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve.
Now this is control.
Flovent, helping you to find asthma control.
10 minutes till bed. You better be clean up there.
Bounty's strong enough to go places and get up stuff you wouldn't think a paper towel could. But then, it's not your ordinary paper towel.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
The quilted top fixer-upper Bounty.
When football is over on Mondays, the action is on NBC.
Oh, dear God.
On January 10th, Third Watch moves to Mondays, 10, 9 Central on NBC.
Now is the time for the truth to come out.
Next Friday, a kiss is never just a kiss.
Have you ever had a perfect moment, Sid?
A perfect moment in Providence is shared as new love blooms in the new year. The most romantic episode of the season. All new Providence. NBC next Friday.
As we look to the century ahead, here's what H.G. Wells was predicting a century ago. In his bestseller, we'll call it Anticipations for short, he made a few accurate predictions. He envisioned something similar to our interstates. He said gas and oil would replace coal and steam. He anticipated a rising divorce rate and a new sexual freedom. But in other areas, he was dead wrong. He saw people going around on moving sidewalks, the kind we now see in airports. Submarines, he said, had no future in modern warfare, although bicycles would probably come in handy. And air travel, he said, would not seriously change our transportation or communication.
Now, on Fridays, all new Law & Order Special Victims Unit.
I should have run away.
A woman attacked by a man who pampers his victims.
In his fantasy world, he's a perfect gentleman.
Tracy Pollan guest stars in a rare television appearance.
You did the one thing that you're supposed to do. Survive.
All new Law & Order Special Victims Unit at NBC next Friday.
Sarah Jessica Parker, Jean Triplehorn, Dylan McDermott, and Jennifer Aniston discover love in all the fun places. Start the new year with a Till There Was You, NBC Monday.
The most powerful V6 engine in its class. The most interior space in its class. Amenities that would surprise you in any class. For those seeking refuge from mediocrity and compromise, we offer the Sanctuary, presenting the all-new Infiniti i30. It's all the best thinking.
Once in a while, a car comes along that's really worth pursuing. A car with features like an automatic transmission, alloy wheels, ABS, a security system, and more, all offered at a price that has proven to be very elusive. Of course, you have to see such a car. To not would be criminal. The Special Edition Accord from Honda. Now get APR financing as low as 3.9% APR for 36 months on new 4-cylinder Accord sedans.
What you're hearing is the sound of the Dodge 0% sale, where for a very limited time, select customers can get either 0% financing on every new Dodge in stock, or select customers can buy with 0 down, plus make 0 payments for 6 months. Plus, that's on every new Dodge car, truck, SUV, or minivan in stock. Or you can still get cash allowances of up to $1,250 on select cars and minivans. So hurry, before time, well, you get the picture.
New Year's Live. The countdown starts tonight at 11 on Channel 4.
From our studios in Rockefeller Center, here again is Stone Phillips.
What will you be doing when the clock strikes 12? Around the world, hundreds of millions are celebrating a new era when we'll see amazing, some say frightening new developments, especially in the field of medicine. If you thought cloning, robotic surgery, and hand transplants were news, wait till you see what's in store in these next few years. Here's Bob McEwen.
These precious lives, the world's children, were the timeless and easy prey of polio. Thanks to a historic discovery, polio is no longer a major health threat.
They were some of the biggest medical breakthroughs of the past millennium.
Space, the final frontier.
And visions of what the next 1,000 years would bring were limited only by imagination. Star Trek's McCoy could work medical miracles in sickbay. Well, now, the future is here. The new millennium just hours away. And with it comes a whole new era in medical technology. Devices and advances that may help us all live longer and better lives.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be, I think, involved in medical research.
Gunjan Sinha, a health and medicine editor at Popular Science magazine, says the 21st century will bring advancements in medicine that may rival those of science fiction.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Actually, we don't quite have that technology yet. And even if we did, it'd likely cost a lot more than $6 million to reconstruct the bionic man. But there is now the technology to give some people a gift that's priceless.
I lost my left arm below the elbow and my right leg below the knee.
10 years ago, 28-year-old Jay Schiller's body was devastated by electricity in an accident that left him with one hand doing the work of two.
Normal everyday things like, eating or buttoning a shirt or tying your shoes really became a hassle.
Then he heard about Dr. William Cralius and his team of researchers at Rutgers University in New Jersey. Their work is one of the most revolutionary breakthroughs in the history of upper limb prostheses.
Good. Very independent.
For probably over 100 years, we've had one movement, which is a prehensile kind of grasp with a hook, and now the breakthrough is with several fingers moving independently.
Cralius and his associates relied on a phenomenon common in many amputees. The missing limb still feels like it's there.
It feels like I have a hand clenched, like, like this, still sitting in my residual limb.
So the TAP, the tendon-activated pneumatic hand, has a sensor that picks up movement in the remaining tendons, then turns it into an electrical signal read by a tiny computer. The computer activates the motors that move the fingers.
I'm imagining just what it's doing, just like that.
The TAP isn't quite there yet. Skin regrowth and perfect matches like in the Star Wars movies are still visions of the future. But this kind of galaxy may not be far, far away.
It's like if you got a light on and you turn it down, 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 you see nothing.
For 72-year-old Harold Churchy, that was the debilitating effect of an eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. Diseases that damage the retina affect some 6 million Americans. Genes and age increase the risk. Doctors at Johns Hopkins University's Wilmer Eye Institute in Baltimore have found a way to replace the crucial function of the retina with a tiny computer chip. The prototype is a pair of glasses with a small camera mounted in the frame. It picks up images and turns them into an electrical signal. That signal is then wirelessly transmitted to the microchip implanted on the retina. And this is Harold's retina, where doctors temporarily implanted a chip.
Tell us what it looked like now.
Well, it was like a black dot with a yellow ring around it.
After 18 years of blackness, Harold Churchy finally saw the light, the small illuminations from the team's probes.
They moved them around, shuffled around, and made a letter. And I was able to identify it as an H.
So far, retinal implants can only partially restore vision, allowing the patient to see pixelated images and colors, like those on a stadium scoreboard. But Harold says it won't take 20/20 vision to make him happy.
I want to see my family first. Wife, son, grandchild. And naturally, I want to see the beauty of God's creation.
Right now, there are more than 60,000 people on waiting lists for organ transplants. Every day, at least 10 of them will die waiting, and still others will face organ rejection after transplants.
We wouldn't have to deal with having to find organ donors or possibly even longer into the future not even have to worry about rejection.
Gunjan Sinha says that researchers have found what they call the holy grail of tissue engineering. Immediately following conception, a human embryo has a group of cells with the capacity to become anything: skin, nerves, bone, even a heart. They're called embryonic stem cells. And though it's controversial, researchers are trying to find a way to harness and direct their potential, to use them to produce made-to-order organs.
And that includes skin, blood, you're talking about new eyes, new heart, I mean basically any single part of the body.
Ears, noses, and bones have already been grown in labs using other types of cells and proteins, though it will likely still be many years before transplants are a possibility, even longer until vital organs are available. After the dawn of the year 2000, will stethoscopes become a thing of the past? EKGs obsolete? CAT scans so 20th century? Maybe not. But they will have updated diagnostic counterparts called biosensors. Tiny chips implanted in the body could monitor vital signs, like heart rate, respiration, and blood pressure, then transmit that information to doctors. But for those of you unwilling to live with a chip in your shoulder, there's the Smart T-shirt, developed by researchers at Georgia Tech University and tested by the military.
It's like having a doctor on call.
Sundaresan Jayaraman is one of the inventors who joined medical technology with functional fashion. The result is this: a computer cum T-shirt that can turn your body into a walking doctor's office.
We could have one for measuring the heart rate of the individual, the temperature of the individual, the respiration rate of the individual.
The information can be electronically sent to doctors or emergency medical teams. And because the shirt is a computer that can be programmed to do anything, the possibilities seem limitless.
An athlete would want some special sensors to monitor the heart rate and the respiration rate. So he or she would get a shirt with those sensors on it for that particular purpose.
The prototype may look a little rough, but in about 2 years, the special fibers that transmit information may be woven into garments of all sizes and colors. A dress to die for could end up saving your life.
Can you even see anything?
I see everything.
Computer display type vision will look a lot like this in the futuristic movie The Terminator. Doctors will be able to use it to enhance precision in delicate operations and to continually monitor their patients' vital signs. The surgeon would wear an eyepiece like this one, developed by a company called Microvision. Any kind of electronic data or information, the results of an X-ray or an MRI or a CAT scan, here, the script from my Dateline computer, can be transmitted directly onto my retina with a harmless laser beam, effectively turning my eye into a three-dimensional computer screen. Microvision's virtual retinal display should be available in hospitals in about 2 years, and by then, the unit will be small enough to fit on your glasses.
We've decided to put a surgical team and crew into a submarine, reduce it way down in size, and inject it into an artery.
Shrinking a team of doctors to navigate through your body and destroy harmful tumors? The 1966 movie Fantastic Voyage imagined the possibility, and many researchers say that in about 30 years, it may not be so far-fetched. Nanobots, molecular-sized robotic pods, could be injected into the body. While no human passengers will be on board, they could carry tiny computers and drugs to seek out and destroy cancers and other harmful diseases. By understanding our genetic blueprints, we'll eventually learn the keys to such crucial questions as how we age, why we get sick, and what we can do to stay healthy. The Human Genome Project, a public consortium of researchers, has spent the last decade trying to catalog gene sequences. By 2003, they expect to be done.
Are we really talking about being able, eventually, to cure disease before it takes place?
Maybe someday they'll have a portable gene reader. So let's test you, figure out what your susceptibilities are, and you walk out with a prescription for preventative medicine.
Growing new organs to replace defective ones, computerized body parts, revolutionary ways to treat and monitor patients. Could we all be following in the footsteps of Methuselah?
How long might we live on average next century?
The ultimate goal of medical science in the next century is to live at least to 100, but to live to that age when we don't have things like memory loss and Alzheimer's and cancer and all those other diseases that affect the elderly.
If you need a new heart, grow one. If your muscles are atrophying, replace them. If
You need a new bone, hey, get a transplant. What's more, there'll likely be advancements in plastic surgery and other procedures and drugs that don't save lives, but enhance them. Drugs already on the market for impotence and baldness are just the beginning. Through genetic engineering, researchers hope to control weight, boost memory, even improve IQ. When it comes to medicine, the next millennium promises a brave new world.
Our Dateline website has more on the future of medicine, even a look at how childbirth will change. And that's just the beginning. You'll find information on everything from what to do in the event of a Y2K emergency to what's happening with millennium celebrations in your own town. Our address is dateline.msnbc.com. And if you want to be heard as the millennium unfolds, join the conversation around the world in our chat room.
Dateline will continue after this brief message.
I'm not a size 6. I'm not even a size 10. But I like myself. I'm completely comfortable with who I am. Except when I go shopping for clothes.
Until I found iVillage.com.
show? Nice to have you. You know, I haven't seen the news. Did the world end yet? What happened?
Not yet.
Well, folks, in exactly 25 minutes from now, that $4,000 Dell computer you got for Christmas officially becomes a paperweight, okay? Enjoy it. Play with the box. Oh, I did it later. When the balloons drop down, they can be used as condoms. Did we tell people all the balloons can be used as condoms?
Good to know.
And boy, there are, God, there are these big Millennium celebrations all around the world tonight. Of course, in Times Square at midnight, the ball will drop. We have a similar thing here in L.A. At exactly midnight, Andy Dick will drive a Buick into a light pole. So how about that? Yeah, pretty much. That'll be exciting. And there's a big Millennium party over at Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion tonight. Really? Yeah, it's a Y2KY jelly party. Yeah, you don't want to miss that. Yeah, Y2KY jelly party. Yeah. And, of course, our old buddy Dick Clark ringing in the new year over at the ABC. You know something? I like Dick. You know, he's a good friend of ours. But I never thought he was right for that, you know? I mean, shouldn't we have someone ringing in the new year who looks different as the years pass? You know, get somebody like Keith Richards, then you know, oh, my God, 1,000 years has passed. Oh, my God, what a rough number. What the hell are you talking about? What? What are you talking about? I guess he had a rough night last night, deciding whether to resign or not. We have footage of him arriving this morning to turn over power to the prime minister. He looked unsteady. Show that footage, right? This is right off the news today. Here he is pulling up in the limo. Ellen, can we show the car? Can we show the inside? Can you turn the camera? Look at that. Oh, my God. That is rough night. Rough night for the Boris man. President Clinton said he was sorry to see Yeltsin go. And George Bush said he was even sorrier. Bush said, I know the names of 2 world leaders. Now one is leaving. What am I going to do now? And I thought this was very nice. Did you see President Clinton on the news earlier tonight? He promised Hillary that he would remain faithful to her till the end of the millennium. Beautiful, beautiful. Lovely. That's the other big story this year. Of course, Bill and Hillary staying together. People say, oh, are they going to split up? But see, they have kind of a secret, or she has a secret. It's interesting. People don't really notice why they're together. Show that tape from earlier this week. This is kind of interesting. Here they are coming off the plane. Ellen, go in close. I think you'll see the secret to their relationship. You see pretty much, there you see, yeah, it's kind of a, yeah. So apparently he doesn't get far. He doesn't get far. Yeah. And, ooh. An embarrassing incident tonight with Monica Lewinsky. Did you hear about this? No. I guess she was at some kind of party in New York, blew into a party favor. It landed in Iraq. What are the odds of that? That's a pair of lungs.
Big favor.
That's a big favor. Well, that's another big story. You know, Monica Lewinsky, you all know about this. She's doing these commercials for Jenny Craig, and the first commercial airing this Sunday right here on NBC. And you know why she decided to lose weight? This is interesting. You remember, I guess she went to one of the Oscar parties last year. That's when she started on the Jenny Craig. And I guess something happened at that party that made her realize, you know, I've got to take care of myself. Show that footage. Here, take a look. You see what I'm talking about. There's from the Oscars. See, she looks a little heavy there, okay? Now watch. Now, again, you be the judge. Here she is getting in the car. Now, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's, yeah, you see, yeah, just... And that's when you know, maybe you want to... Take it easy. Take it easy. Yeah. Are you still worried about Y2K? Yeah, it all looks like nothing. You know, I'm watching the news tonight, and this is true. I guess authorities at the Denver International Airport tonight were handing out flashlights to anyone coming into the airport. That'll calm people's nerves. Why don't you just give them a parachute when they get to the gate? Here, just in case there's a... Here's your flashlight and your parachute. Goodbye, have a nice trip. Oh, and a reminder, oh my God, this is something the mayor has asked me to remind people. Please do not fire your gun into the air at midnight, because there's a good chance Puff Daddy could return fire. So please, do not fire your gun into the air. Whatever you do, don't go shooting. Oh man, that's the big story this week, this altercation that Puff Daddy got in. You know about this, right? He was in a nightclub. And allegedly, according to the papers, what happened was, Puff Daddy's in this nightclub, and allegedly somebody threw a pile of money at Puff Daddy, and then he pulled a gun on the guy. The guy throws money, and then he pulls the gun. Police think this could be the first dyslexic robbery in New York history. Could be the first dyslexic robbery in New York history. The first time, yeah. It's never happened before. And I guess Florida State getting ready for the big Sugar Bowl. Wasn't that the fourth? I guess they're not going to have the whole team with them. The whole team's not going to go because, you know, a lot of their players aren't allowed to cross state lines, you know, because of Hey, anybody go on the Rose Parade tomorrow? You want to do that? Yeah, that'd be great. Here's the tip again. I don't want to ruin anybody's fun, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Organizers say if you're out at the Rose Parade, stay at least 500 yards away from the Islamic Jihad float, okay? Just keep, no, please, just in case. Just keep your distance. Say, oh, no, back away, back away. Be careful. Just, again, I don't want to, just a little safety tip. And I was watching the news earlier today, and God, they interviewed this guy. They had one of these kind of paranoid guys. And this guy took all his money out of the bank. He bought like a ton of canned food. He went into the woods. He's staying in a shack for 6 months. You know who it was? Mayor of Seattle. Yeah, Mayor of Seattle. I feel sorry for the folks in Seattle because of what happened. Our Seattle affiliate, I guess. Ellen, cut to the Seattle affiliate. See how their New Year's is going to... Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, not a whole lot happening. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Yeah. Yeah, kind of sad. I guess you all heard about that. Seattle canceled the whole New Year's Eve celebration of the Space Needle, canceled the whole thing. So, of course, today, Seattle Airport filled with terrorists who had to make last-minute plans. You know, where are we going to go now? Oh, my gosh, if the thing was canceled, you know, your backup flight, you've got to go somewhere else. You got to get a hotel. Well, you got to admit, this terrorism thing is kind of frightening. Like, there was a news report that this guy, Osman bin Laden... Kev, you haven't been Laden in how long? Probably not, but I don't know, right? No, I'm sorry. Oh, you know that guy? You got to snuck that one right in. No. What do you think I said? Oh, I'm sorry. No, there's Osman, not Osman. He's not one of the Osmans. It's Donnie. It's Donnie Osman bin Laden. Osman, whatever, bin Laden, whatever his name is. Anyway, they say he has dispatched teams of terrorists to destinations all around the world to try and disrupt, you know, the New Year's Eve celebrations. I was thinking about that. You know, say what you want about being a terrorist, but at least they get to travel. You know, they see different parts of the world. You get to go to a lot of celebrations and parties. You know, so it opens you up a little bit. I think you grow as a person. Now, here's an interesting tip. Listen to this. According to Men's Health magazine, before you drink tonight, if you're going to drink heavy, eat a lot of bread and a lot of pasta. Because they say bread and pasta slows alcohol absorption and reduces hangover. The bad news, now you're drunk who's big and fat. Other than that.
That's not good.
That's not good. You don't want that. Now here's something. I don't know if they have it this year, but the past 2 years, Taco Bell has a New Year's special. Do you know about this? You buy 2 burritos.
2 burritos?
You buy 2 burritos, they give you a free noisemaker, which... I mean, it seems to me... Seems to me you're pretty much already there, huh? Yeah. Hey, here's some happy news. Now, this is good news. Thank God for this. The hijacking of that Air India flight ended today peacefully. I guess after 8 days, these people were stranded. These poor people stuck on a plane, held for 8 days right there at the airport. In fact, you know what they call it here when that happens? Northwest, okay? Oh, and here you go. I learned. Kev, I learned a valuable lesson today. A valuable lesson. Never try and put a Christmas tree down the garbage disposal. 4 hours. Oh, man.
It didn't work, huh?
No. Oh, kind of embarrassing thing last night. I'm watching TV, and I thought I was watching one of those blooper specials. Yeah, with Clippers highlights. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh, let's see, what else before? Oh, we winding up? Oh, we have to move quickly. We have to move quickly. All right. All right. Well, now here's something interesting. I was reading the tabloids, and they were talking about some of the new medical technology that you're going to see in the new millennium. This is interesting. I don't even understand how this works. Doctors say, as an alternative to the silicone and the saline breast implants, they now fill breast implants with liquid soap. Have you heard this? Because it's safer, liquid soap. In fact, some women have gotten it done already.
Really?
In fact, I saw someone talking about it. Well, show that footage on the news that was on earlier. Hey, folks, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we'll start the party. We'll go to Times Square. We'll drop the ball. We'll check in with Tom Brokaw. Don't go away!
As America's first choice in beer during the past century, Budweiser invites you to ring in the new millennium with the clean, crisp taste you've always enjoyed. We raise a toast to the new millennium. Tonight, as always, this Bud's for you.
Presenting the first ever full-length animated motion picture, exclusively in IMAX theaters. Walt Disney Pictures' Fantasia 2000, the IMAX experience. 7 all-new journeys into the imagination, along with a classic favorite in a motion picture unlike any other. Walt Disney Pictures' Fantasia 2000, the IMAX experience. Rated G, coming January 1st to selected IMAX theaters worldwide.
Who wants to win $1 million when you can win big money? 21 is coming Sunday, January 9th at 8, 7 Central on NBC.
Thank you. No, please. Let me. There you go. You're certainly on your way, son.
We have activity.
Verify account status.
His last payment was a half-day late.
Raise his rate.
Initiating interest rate increase, sir.
If you're late with a payment, some credit cards are happy to automatically raise your interest rates. But a Discover card? No, we don't do that. Remember, there's always something more to discover.
You've got plenty of good reasons to clean and disinfect your home. But if you're cleaning with the leading lemon cleaner, there are even more reasons to switch to Mr. Clean. He not only gives you the muscle to outclean the leading cleaner on tough jobs, but he also guarantees to kill household germs. They don't. Just check the label.
For a better cleaner, reach for Mr. Clean. The big guy cleans and disinfects, so put him on your tin.
Nothing outcleans Mr. Clean. There's just no reason to use anything else.
I'm going to give you something to scream about. Get over here. Get up. I can't. I'm talking to you. Get up. I can't. Stop crying. You're asking for it again.
For information about how you can help stop domestic violence, call us.
You've been thinking about volunteering for a good cause. There's just one thing stopping you. You know, that thing that keeps you from volunteering. Well, we know a way around it. Call the Volunteer Center. Now with one phone call, you can choose a volunteer activity that fits with your schedule and your interests. The Volunteer Centers of the Bay Area. Call 1-800-CARE-123.
It's Woodstock 2000. That's what this show is. Right? Like the whole world is like Woodstock. But you know, there wasn't one incident anywhere, allegedly. Really? Maybe I'm being naive, but when I've done news on nothing, everything went well. Cool. So I want to just take a second to wish all of you a wonderful, happy New Year. It's so, I mean, we had all this YK, whatever it was, and nothing happened. So it's just wonderful. One day, everybody kind of gets together and has a good time and gets drunk and vomits on their shoes. So thank you. God bless you all. We're going to go now to Tom Brokaw and Katie Couric, check in with them, and then come back here for New Year's, and I'll kiss my wife, and we'll just have some champagne. We'll have fun. Katie, Tom?
Hey. Yes, Jay.
Hi, you guys.
Hi, Jay.
Tom, happy New Year. Katie, you too.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you,
I don't know
Jay.
whether you've heard, Jay, or not, but GE just informed us they've developed a Y2K problem. If we don't do this right, our checks don't clear. So we've got to get on with the show here.
Really? There you go.
All right. Well, have a great party there in Burbank. We're going to get the New Year started here in New York, Jay. We'll be working our way to the West
Burbank.
Coast.
Why would you go to Times Square when you have Burbank?
Next year we'll have to go to Burbank.
We're going to send them all out there. Well, here, Katie, even the mayor was impressed when he came up. We ought to turn around and just take a look and not just be reporters tonight, but savor the moment. This doesn't happen but once every 2,000 years or so, and you're in the middle of all the action. More than 1 million people down there, the dawning of a new age, a new 1,000 years, a new century, a new year, and we'll remember this night for a long time.
And I have to say, Tom, you get such a different perspective on the roof of the Renaissance Hotel than you do when you're basically at the same level of the crowd. It's just amazing. It's just wall-to-wall people, a sea of humanity. But one good thing about tonight is, as Jay mentioned, there have been very few, if any, incidents to speak of. So it sort of restores your faith in human nature.
Well, the other thing is, I think that the people are trying to tell us something. Everyone is talking about this being a jaded and cynical age of excess materialism, but they want to have a good time, and they want to be together. And people were turning down the big high-ticket items. They were determined to come here and celebrate together and behave. So I think there is something going on here that the politicians and those of us in the media will have to pay attention to as well.
And it's a lot of fun here, but certainly not particularly glamorous given the circumstances. As we know, Tom, and as we've mentioned throughout the evening, many people got here as early as 5 a.m. this morning to stake out positions so they could watch this Waterford crystal ball drop. Oh, hello. That's a little early, New Year's kiss.
We hope they knew each other before 5 this morning.
I hope so. You never know. Although a lot of people are making new friends down there. They're in these pen areas. And
but once they make friends, they have nowhere to go.
Well, they've had not a lot to do other than to talk to their neighbors in these various sections. It's about 37 degrees, I understand. I told you earlier, Tom, that it was quite comfortable. I take that back. It's gotten downright chilly now. The wind's picked up. And there's Mayor Giuliani.
This is a big moment for the mayor, not just because it's gone well, but obviously it's important to the city of New York. They've spent a lot of money. They've spent 5 years getting ready for it. He has big political plans for the next year in his widely publicized race against Hillary Clinton for the United States Senate. So it was important for him, for all of this to go well, and so far it appears that it's going very well for him.
Well, this means great PR, obviously, for the city of New York. It could have meant disaster if things had gone awry. So there was a lot at stake here, not only for Mayor Giuliani, but for the entire city as well.
Well, New York is enjoying the greatest wave of prosperity any city has ever known because of what's going on in Wall Street, and that has a real trickle-down effect and ripple effect across this city. Times Square has been virtually rebuilt in the last 10 years or so with all the new theaters and the hotels. We're standing here at the Renaissance Hotel, which is a part of that. And so people will see this, and I think that they'll feel a lot better about coming to New York. And when they do, folks, bring lots of money because it still ain't cheap.
We're about 5 minutes until that crystal ball drops. Dr. Amy Hopkins pushes the button. I don't know if you heard her speak earlier, Tom. She's a surgeon with an organization called Doctors Without Borders. Every year for the last 4 years, a special citizen, or a hero, if you will, has been selected to do the honors, and she was a tad
nervous. They won the Nobel Peace Prize this year.
That's right.
And I've seen them in action around the world, and it really is a remarkable group. It began in France. They have a lot of American doctors who volunteer. They go into the hellholes of the world, and under fire and in the worst conditions, they save lives. And so that, too, is just the right way to end the 20th century, which has been through so much turmoil and so much pain, but still it's a time of great triumph when you think about the space age, all the advances that we're making in medicine, the distribution of prosperity around the world, which is getting greater, needs to be even more than it is. Thanks, Mom. I'm out here with my sinuses going into cold, and Katie's taking care of me, making sure that I don't.
I'm handing him tissues. We're about 4 minutes until the ball drops. And it's been so much fun, Tom, to watch all day long as every time zone has celebrated the beginning of the new millennium, of course, starting early this morning with New Zealand, followed by Sydney, Australia, among others, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Russia. It was so fun to see them celebrate and usher in the new millennium in Red Square. And, of course, later on, Paris and London.
There'll be a lot of folks saying tomorrow, well, my city was better than your city. And people in Paris and London will be claiming probably the title, although I thought that Sydney certainly was a contender. The Olympics will be there next fall. And New York is yet to have its moment. It's a big deal in Washington, D.C. tonight as well. They're going to, we hope that they don't burn down the Washington Monument. They're going to send fireworks all the way over to the base of it. So there are a lot of spectaculars yet to come. There is Washington, D.C. South Beach in Florida has got a big show planned for tonight, and Copley Square in Boston. We've got a lot that we'll be showing you. We'll also be hearing right after midnight from Sting. He's going to have a song for a new day.
That's a new song he's written called Brand New Day, and obviously very appropriate for this occasion. There's that crystal ball with how many panels? Over 500 panels of Waterford crystal. And presiding over it all, once again, Mayor Rudy Giuliani. Boy, they look wide awake. We're approaching 2 minutes.
Do you think anyone is turning to their partner and saying, you know, we've been here long enough, let's go home? 2 minutes to go? Probably not.
Of course, as we've been mentioning, Tom, throughout the day, the folks gathered here in Times Square, they've been doing countdowns as various countries, various cities across the world commemorate this important moment. But obviously, we're just less than 2 minutes away from the countdown that for these people really counts.
Well, there are a lot of people in different places, and I have friends that are on a cold cabin on a cold stream up in Montana. Other people have black tie dinners, obviously. Lots of families are simply being reflective. Other families that are having progressive dinners, they're in their neighborhood going to one place for an appetizer, another place for an entree, another place for dessert, all getting together. Lots of ways to celebrate this new year, and of course, I think it is something that everyone will remember. Where were you when not just the century turned, but when the millennium ended? Katie, we've got 1 minute and 10 to go. Let's let the television cameras and Guy Pepper and his crew perform their magic.
picture I was smiling at you when you were still together. You could be walking down the street, you shook your chest to me, but that same old smile you've been thinking of all day. Yeah. But though we turn the clock to zero, honey, I'll never stop a plan. The money was starting off a brand new day. Turn the clock on the way back, I'm begging her to take me back out. I'm thinking in a brand new way. Turn the clock to zero, sister, you'll never know how much I miss you. I'm starting up a brand new day. Turn
symbols of this immigrant nation are in play here tonight. The Statue of Liberty, a place that welcomes so many people to these shores. The melting pot that you see here in Times Square, the celebration, all the symbols of prosperity in America, and then an expat, in effect, somebody from Great Britain who's singing A Brand New Day, Sting. So we really do have the melding of all the cultures of America in Times Square, the beginning of a new millennium.
And for all these people who had been waiting hours and hours and hours, this was quite a show. And that was quite a show. Hello.
Well, I would think that they have that coming after all the hours that they've been out there waiting. And that's going on across the country. And, of course, this is just the Eastern time zone. Worth reminding everyone that we still have Central Mountain and Pacific to get to before we can say truly in this country that we have entered the new century in the United States. This is the kickoff. It is the granddaddy, and it certainly has lived up to that reputation.
That's right. Right now, all eyes are on the Big Apple, although Washington, D.C. had quite a huge celebration of fireworks as well. But I think really none compares to Sydney, Australia. 200,000 rockets fired at 8 o'clock this morning. Now you're looking at a shot of Miami, and those fireworks look pretty spectacular, too. I wonder how much money was spent in all on pyrotechnics.
Well, the mayor just talked about how much they spent on police, with millions and millions of dollars of police work, but he said they'll get it all back in additional business. And I think that there is this big competition among the urban areas now. Miami is obviously the capital of the northern part of the southern hemisphere. It is a big destination for people from South America. It is one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world between north and south. New York is the capital of the world these days with all that's going on here. Washington, D.C., the capital of this country, had its own celebration tonight, led by President and Mrs. Clinton at the mall at Lincoln Memorial. Boston, which is the old city in this country where the Pilgrims first arrived, they were celebrating. They're celebrating in Philadelphia. As we work our way across the country, you'll be seeing similar scenes on the Navy Pier in Chicago. In Los Angeles, they're lighting up the Hollywood sign. One of my favorite stories of the night so far, by the way, is in Berlin. Twins were born, one in one millennium, another in another millennium. They're millennia generations apart.
That's funny.
On either side of midnight.
And, of course, babies all across the country will be celebrated. The first baby to form after the New Year. You wonder what's going on in hospitals here in New York right now, don't you? I mean, in the labor room, husbands are saying, push, we still got a shot. I think we actually interviewed someone on the Today Show who got pregnant and timed it so she could give birth to the first baby of the new millennium. Whether she has success or not remains to be seen, but that's called very careful family planning. In the Silicon Valley, in one of the hospitals, they've developed a small portfolio, very small, 1 share of Yahoo stock and 5 shares of Silicon Graphics. It's worth about $500. Today, next week, it may be worth $500,000, who knows. But that's a new wrinkle in parents who deliver the first child in the new year. Now, the practical side of me wonders, Katie, how long is it going to take all these people to leave here? And the other question is, how long will they want to stay for? The police commissioner was, needless to say, very pleased, Howard Safer, but the night is still young, and it will take a while for the crowd to disperse. And many people may stick around Times Square for several hours, and even more merrymaking. Since it's been alcohol-free all day long, some of them may want, at this point, to go have a cocktail. And I think they should. There's a small chance. If they want to. If they want to. But they shouldn't drive. Now, I'll bet your New Year's and growing up in Virginia were just about like this, weren't they? Oh, yeah, exactly. Actually, we used to eat peanuts in our living room and watch Guy Lombardo. That was our idea of excitement. There we've got a shot of Boston. The fireworks still going on. People are sort of milling about a little bit more, kind of leaving their pens and heading elsewhere.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the ninth, and the home team hit a home run to win the game, and so it's been a great experience. But a lot of people are saying maybe if I can get to the parking lot earlier than everybody else.
People have to start getting accustomed to writing 2000 on their checks, and now the Roman numerals have changed. They're MM for the new millennium. About 100 years ago, this nation was enjoying great prosperity as well. And as you mentioned earlier today, Tom, when we were talking, people were very excited to see things ushered in like the automobile and electricity. President McKinley was in office, and really there were a lot of good times going on.
And no one, even 20 years ago, anticipated the internet. Think about how the pace of change now.
And the level of economic prosperity, perhaps, as well.
And we hope that more people will have even more opportunities, of course, in the 21st century to cash in on some of that prosperity. That's one of the real challenges before the country. Almost anything is possible these days. We'll be continuing to watch all of this. We'll have continuing coverage of Millennium 2000 here to Times Square, the Renaissance Hotel. Katie Couric and Tom Brokaw back in a moment.
Endurance, copy? Endurance, lead us into the new millennium, Endurance.
Endurance, what have you done?
The champagne was not Corbel.
Corbel, official champagne of the Millennium Celebration.
Gene Shalit of the Today Show raves. Once in a while, a film comes along that makes going to the movies a joy. The Cider House Rules is one of those movies.
I was wondering if you could give me a ride.
It's just plain wonderful. I reveled in every minute of this movie. See the film that America's top critics are hailing as one of the best films of this or any year. The Cider House Rules, rated PG-13. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
Oh, Mom, it's great. My first apartment. You should see it. It's huge.
When you've got things to talk about, it's a good idea to dial 10-10-321 first.
And I had a great view of the river.
With 10-10-321, you get 50% off calls over 10 minutes. That's just 8 cents a minute, day or night, and no monthly fees. And then 50% off. You can share every last detail.
And I even have a garden.
Talk as long as you want with 10-10-321.
Hello? What? Are you sure? Okay, we'll be right there.
What is it?
Minnie Blackwell's having a party. Let's roll.
Looking for a good time? The Civic from Honda.
They are mothers and fathers.
All we got out there is each other.
Sons and daughters.
We're supposed to help people.
They are the heroes
I got him!
who get there first.
I got a man hurt up here!
Hang in there.
Monday, January 10th.
Got it! Go, go!
Third Watch moves to a new night and a new time.
Hey, it's gonna be all right.
Third Watch moves to NBC Mondays 10/9 Central, beginning January 10th on NBC.
Moving to NBC Fridays, January 7th.
What we have to do is solve crimes.
We want to make it right.
All new episodes of Law & Order Special Victims Unit.
You tell us what happened.
We need to know.
All new Law & Order cases every Friday.
Just want to ask you a few questions about your wife.
Please, we can help.
All new episodes of the show critics call sensitive and intelligent.
I hate him for what he did to you.
Law & Order Special Victims Unit, 10/9 Central, NBC Fridays, January 7th.
just the tick of a clock, the stroke of midnight. It lasted for just a moment, literally no more than that. But for all of these people, it was worth the wait. But now many of them, Katie, are beginning to pour out of Times Square. Many of them have been here all day long. The celebration remains because the century will go on.
Ann Curry, our colleague, has been down with the crowd all evening long, and she probably can give us a good idea of what folks are doing now that the party is, well, almost over. Right, Ann?
Exactly. I'm at the position you were at earlier in the evening, Katie, and we can see people on both sides going up 46th Street, going in both directions, leaving the area. However, there are some people who are remaining, and there still is a bit of a show. The strobe lights are still going. The music is still going. There are still people dancing in the aisles. You know, earlier, before the ball came down, there were riot police actually in riot gear all up and down, but they certainly were not needed because there was no surge that we could see from this vantage point. People just had a wonderful time watching this spectacular light show, watching the ball drop, and just feeling that sense that they're in a place at a time that will never come again in their lifetimes, and feeling as though they've been a part of it, Katie.
And, you know, you can't really tell from behind you, but a lot of people have actually left the area, haven't they?
That's right. We saw them. In fact, if you wouldn't mind turning your camera in that direction, Doc, we have people moving. You can still see them moving in both directions. They're going up 46th and 47th, and they're all, this whole area that was filled with people is now really becoming much more empty.
All right.
They've been here for so long that in many cases their driver's license have expired. So they're going to have a hard time getting home. We're going to be back with more of all this. Thanks very much, Ann Curry. Your local news in just a few moments. We'll be back with Millennium 2000 Times Square.
Hey guys, what you up to?
Mom's got a bad headache, so we're taking her some ice cream.
Well, maybe I can help too. I'll be right there.
For headaches, doctors recommend Tylenol more than any other brand. It's the most trusted combination of strength and safety and pain relief today.
Don't forget the softball. I knew the ice cream would help.
Tylenol. Take comfort in our strength.
Audiences all across America are raving about the most romantic film of the year.
Fantastic.
Great film for the holidays.
We loved it.
I thought I knew the king and I.
This is so much better.
Definitely.
Anna and the King, rated PG-13. Now playing only in theaters.
When it comes to traditional luxury, it's anything but more of the same. Introducing the all-new 2000 Bonneville. When supercharged, it's one of the world's most powerful sports sedans. More luxury. More attitude. The all-new 2000 Bonneville by Pontiac.
Victoria's Secret's annual bra sale is on now. For 1 week only, you'll save 25 to 50% on bras at Victoria's Secret. 25 to 50% off now during the bra sale. Only at Victoria's Secret, the best lingerie store in the world.
In the battle to prevent the gum disease gingivitis, floss goes a long way. Because floss removes plaque between teeth. But for many, that might not be enough. To kill the germs brushing and flossing may miss, use Listerine. Listerine is the one brand, the only brand, clinically proven to flow into the tiny spaces between teeth. To kill germs and help prevent the gum disease gingivitis. Stand up to gum disease. Get in here and fight. With Listerine, don't let a good mouth go bad.
Okay, Elmer, we're rolling. Now tell us how the others got started.
Well, the others have been around for as long as I have, over 80 years. Call us what you will. Psychics, spiritualists, crackpots. I'm the last of the original members. When I was just a boy, my family didn't know what to do with me. Thought I was possessed. But I don't fault them. Some people were never meant to understand the spirit world. Few are. Now the others, we've started up again, got some fresh new talent. New eyes to see the lights. Are you one of us?
The Others, coming to NBC Saturdays.
Now let's head down.
The Millennium, a new Center for Special Edition, starts now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special New Center for Millennium update. I'm Pam Moore.
And I'm Pete Wilson. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, it has been remarkable, a spectacular worldwide beginning to the new millennium now, working its way across America with about 2.5 hours left to go till it gets to San Francisco. And so far, it has been mishap-free for the most part. Police in San Francisco hoping for the same thing here, taking a zero-tolerance policy for anyone making trouble tonight. News Center 4's Vic Lee is live with the latest. Vic?
Well, there was a little trouble here tonight, Pete. This is Pier 31, which has been converted into a huge holding center for police, and this is where they took some 20 young people who were arrested at about 8 o'clock tonight. Now, the group had been walking down North Point toward Columbus Avenue in North Beach. Police say they were breaking side view mirrors, smashing windows of parked cars as they roamed the streets. Once they were spotted, police units responded quickly, making arrests. A police spokesman told me that many in this group were from out of town, some from Berkeley, some from as far away as Fresno. But, Pete, this is exactly what police said they would do tonight, and that is to react quickly to any problems before they got out of hand. So, this was the only incident that we know of tonight. The rest of the town, peaceful. Back to you.
And for the most part, Vic, we get the same kind of small reports around the country tonight.
Well, in the East Bay tonight, one of the biggest New Year's celebrations is happening on board a World War II memorial. News Center 4's Joe Oliver has the latest live from Oakland tonight. Joe.
Pam, things are just getting going at the USS Hornet tonight. They have about 500 people there, and they're going to be dancing to the Benny Goodman Tribute Orchestra. They should be getting going any moment now. We're at Jack London Square, where it has been an embarking point for a lot of revelers, people catching party boats to go out on the bay and going to private parties here around the square. There has been one glitch here in Oakland. The lights around the Henry Kaiser Auditorium went out for about 15 minutes, but power crews got them on very quickly, and it did not affect the concert going on inside the auditorium. Meanwhile, things are going on pretty smoothly. There's about 250 officers out on the street tonight in case things start to get a little bit rough. Pam?
Well, hopefully that's not going to happen, Joe. Thank you for that live report from Oakland.
We are coming right back. We'll have some traffic for you in case you're planning to go anywhere.
And if you have any Y2K questions, whether it has to do with transportation or anything else, the number to call is 1-800-773-1116.
Music radio station, you'd think stuffy and old-fashioned. Well, there's a new kind of classical station, Classical 102.1 KDFC. At KDFC, real people, not music professors, play soothing, timeless music. It's so comfortable, you'll feel good about having it on all day. Classical 102.1 KDFC. I think you'll really like it.
The millennium's coming. And if you want to beat the bug, get to your Northern California Ford store today for great deals on 2000 model year trucks. Like financing as low as $3.9 on the rugged F-150. Up to $1,000 cash back or $3.9 financing on Ford Ranger. Drive into the new millennium with $3.9 financing on Ford Expedition and get up to $500 cash back or $3.9 financing on the all-terrain shredding Explorer. You won't see another event like Ford's Millennium End Clearance, so get there before these deals get zapped.
Well, on most Friday nights, traffic is backed up across the bridge this time of night.
Not so tonight,
I think it would be.
apparently. Anna Duckworth has all of the details. Anna?
And Pete and Pam, it is a beautiful thing. There is absolutely no traffic backups anywhere in the Bay Area right now. Where we do have some congestion, though, is in San Francisco's Embarcadero area. That is starting to get crowded right now, and that is shut down for the big party between Battery and Harrison. Also in San Francisco, streets around Union Square and Civic Center are shut down. Mass transit is still the best way to go. Most systems have special overnight service. But the Golden Gate Ferry has sold out of tickets tonight. AC Transit is not running buses over the Bay Bridge between midnight and 6 a.m. And Muni has stopped running their trolleys on Market Street. They have switched over completely to diesel service. But again, all the other systems are running on time. Back to you, Pete and Pam.
All right, Anna, thanks a lot.
Well, coming up at 10 o'clock, a special hour-long edition of The Night Beat will take you to New Year's celebrations from one end of the Bay to the other.
Until then, we hope you enjoy your New Year's evening and continue to watch these extraordinary celebrations.
Back in Times Square, and we're in a new century, we're in a new millennium. It's hard to believe. We've been preparing for this for so long, and then it comes and goes in just a stroke of a moment. But nonetheless, the reality is there. It's 2000,
and
the year of the Ox, or what are we going to call it?
Yeah, that's the big question, the big O's. Nobody's quite sure what we're going to refer this to, so it's a little confusing at this point in time. But meanwhile, watching high atop the Renaissance Hotel when the clock struck 12, it was really quite extraordinary and quite moving, wasn't it, Tom?
It was, and we watched the Waterford Crystal Ball come down with everyone else here. We thought we would just let you revisit that again. Here it is. Because we're now a lot of zeros after 2. We're in the year 2000. That's what it was like here in New York about 30 minutes ago or so. And NBC's Ann Curry is down there waving goodbye to people, I guess.
Although there still seem to be a lot of folks behind you, right, Ann?
That's right, Katie and Tom. You know what? A lot of people have left on that side, but as you can see, there are some diehards who are still here. The 30 minutes after the ball drops, the confetti is still coming down. People are still interested in partying. A lot of the families and children have gone home, and we're left now with a lot of young people who don't want this party to end. And among them are these three, well, brother and sister and friend. And you're from where?
Orlando.
And?
Miami.
And you're from Boston. And you came all this way? Of course. I wouldn't be anywhere else. It's the biggest thrill of my life, and I made so many new friends to carry on the next millennium. It's awesome. In this crowd? Oh, yeah. People are so nice. There's such a good energy about this crowd. Nothing bad at all. And so was it worth it to come all the way?
Absolutely. We met 2 guys from Dallas that were out of this world. One fellow from Germany. Fabulous. Absolutely wonderful.
So how do you top this?
I don't know. It's pretty tough to beat.
All right, we're going to keep on walking. Have a great New Year, you guys. We've got some great policemen here. Men in blue been out here all night. How you guys doing?
All right, we're doing great.
How would you describe this crowd tonight?
It was a good crowd. Quiet. It wasn't quiet. A bit, it kept us alive, you know. It kept us awake. We didn't fall asleep. Very good crowd. Best crowd yet.
How long do you think it's going to take for all these people to clear out of here?
It'll take a couple hours, at least 2 to 3 hours. But it's been very pleasant tonight.
What time did you get here today, and what time do you think you're going to be able to go?
Well, we started today at 6 in the evening. We'll be out of here, who knows, once we get it cleaned up.
You're going to be sleeping in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Officer Robles, thank you so much for talking to us. All right, Katie and Tom, back to you. It's a crazy scene still, and I think it's going to be several hours before we all clear out of here.
Well, I would stick around. Well, first of all, do you think that guy's from New York?
Yeah, I would think that he might be.
Second of all, we've got Frank Sinatra blaring through the speakers here.
So you tell me you are going to stick around with me until 3:30 this morning or not?
Why don't they keep playing Frank? I'll think about it. You know, there was a huge party, obviously, here in Times Square, and it was so much it was great fun, rather, to be here. But also at the mall in Washington, D.C., there was another major shindig that was taking place when the clock struck 12. Let's take a look at the Washington Monument and the celebration there. Spectacular, Tom. As you know, I'm sure there has been scaffolding on the Washington Monument for several months now. It seems like years to me. Every time I go back to Washington, I see the scaffolding, but they obviously made the most of it. It looks spectacular, didn't it?
They had a big evening planned down there. Steven Spielberg made a film, and John Williams was conducting. And NBC's David Bloom, who is our own contribution to the cultural wealth of America, was watching it all, and he's going to give us kind of a recap now, David.
How'd you like that intro, David?
It's impressive, not nearly as impressive as the fireworks here, though. And of course, it was the scaffolding that made that all possible. Now, the revelry is still going on here tonight. Live will show you a picture now of these kids, these young adults, essentially diving and swimming into the reflecting pond here. The celebration is clearly still going on as far as they're concerned in terms of getting essentially freezing cold here in the water. But there's another big fireworks celebration still planned here tonight in about a half an hour or so, shortly before 1 a.m. Washington time. They've got barges in the Potomac River, and they're going to launch still more fireworks. So the party in Washington is still going on. The president, the first lady, daughter Chelsea, will be leaving shortly to go back to the White House, where they're going to host an all-night party, a breakfast tomorrow morning. So fortunately, peaceful here in Washington, D.C. A great deal of excitement tonight. This is, of course, the tape of what it looked like earlier at the stroke of midnight as the fuse was lit from the Lincoln Memorial, went across up those 550 feet to the top of the Washington Monument, and then the huge fireworks display. And as I say, another one in about, 25 minutes or so here in Washington, D.C. as well. Tom, Katie, back to you.
David, I know that Washington was boasting that their fireworks display would be unparalleled, and I have to say, it looked pretty darn good.
It was, but I would have to say also, Katie, that in terms of the Sydney, Australia versus Washington, D.C. comparison, which we were talking about earlier, I would have to say that Sydney won this battle.
All right, David, that means that you probably will have your White House pass jerked tomorrow, and you'll find a new line of work.
Not a very politic answer, David Bloom.
Indeed. Well done, though. We like your objectivity. Thanks very much, NBC's David Bloom, who is there on the mall tonight, where they did put on a breathtakingly beautiful show using all the monuments that they have, the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. And next year, we hope that they'll be able to announce the World War II Memorial between those two, because they're getting ready to build that as well. Do you have a little news for us?
Well, you know, we were talking about the first baby born in the new millennium, and this just in. A baby is born in Connecticut 30 seconds after midnight. Maisha Latoya Walker was born at Hartford Hospital. She weighs 7 pounds, 13 ounces, and measures 21 inches. So Maisha Latoya Walker may be our big winner, and I'm starting not to be able to talk after being up for several
Well, it's also worth pointing out that her doctor was a woman, Dr. Katie Campbell.
That's right.
So
as was her mother.
That's right. Isn't that encouraging? Yeah. Anyhow, that's one more trend that is changing. One of the big changes, of course, in the last 50 years in America has been the rise of American women, not just in this country, but around the world.
And
there was a woman who started the ball here tonight.
That's right. And I'm standing next to you.
And you're standing next to me.
Who'd have thunk it?
No, well, I would have thought it. We'll be back after this.
She's about to bowl the perfect game.
Lowest score possible! That's like 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. You get their lowest rate possible every minute, everywhere with 1-800-CALL-ATT. Sweeties! I did it!
For their lowest rate every minute, everywhere, dial 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Hey guys, soup's on. Whoa!
Hey, where'd they go? They'll be back. They can't live without us. Campbell's makes the world's first interactive snack, chicken noodle soup. It allows kids to use their hands, their mouths, and their imaginations. And Mom uses her noodle because Campbell's is packed with good, nourishing stuff. Hey, your footsteps. Oh, no, it's the mom. Want to fill your kids with wholesome fun? We have a soup for that. Campbell's Chicken Noodle.
This is Unisom Sleep Gels. It helps you sleep. This is Tylenol PM. It helps you sleep too. They both have the exact same amount of the exact same sleep ingredient. But Tylenol PM has added medicine for headaches, backaches, even fever. Do you have a headache? Backache? Fever? Then why take medicine for it? Take Unisom. It's a safe, non-habit-forming way to fall fast asleep.
Every year I say, I'm going to quit smoking. Day later, I'm at it again. Till this year. See this? My last piece of Nicorette gum. Been smoke-free with Nicorette now for 12 weeks. With Nicorette, I help control my cravings 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help curb them. And then for unexpected cravings, I took another piece. And now, no more craving, no more nicotine. Happy New Year.
For a better quit date, you'll have to wait another 1,000 years. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Imagine decorating online with fabric, furniture, and wallpaper. You can at goodhome.com. And if you like what you see, we'll make it real.
The GMC Convoy 2000 is here. Trucks with capabilities that will change the way you look at the road. Professional-grade pickups, SUVs, and family vans. Designed better than they need to be. Like the incredibly smooth-riding 2000 GMC Jimmy, an SUV with a full-length steel frame, its backbone. Now get $2,000 cash back and 90 days deferred monthly payments when you purchase select 2000 Jimmy models. GMC. Do one thing, do it well.
We're back at Times Square where just about 40 minutes ago the giant Waterford crystal ball dropped, and there was the show that was truly spectacular in nature. And actually, if you can see behind me, it still looks as if there's a sea of people down there, but many people have left Times Square. Many people except our Ann Curry, who's still standing by. And they're going to have quite a cleanup job tomorrow here, aren't they?
Yes, Katie, you can see all around me. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. Hi, guys. Some police officers going by right now, but all around here just filled with happy people on this New Year's Day as it's dawning now. But you're right. A lot of people are leaving, as you can see behind me. But the cleanup crews have arrived. I've seen them, and they have got a huge job to do, Katie.
Ann, thanks very much. Meanwhile, you know, while we were enjoying the celebrations here at Times Square and, of course, in the nation's capital and really all across the globe as time zone after time zone ushered in the new year, there were two concerns that people were worried about. That was a terrorist incident, and the other was the dreaded Y2K computer virus. Right now, NBC's Bob Hager is at Y2KCC. And Bob, you can explain what that is and how things are going.
Well, it's the Information Coordinating Center. We're actually getting quite a bit of hard information now, 45 minutes after the time change in the east, and we have no reports of problems already. Now, tick them off by industry. The electric power industry is represented back here. They've been by. They've heard from all their big power companies up and down the East Coast, and there's been no interruption of electric service. Then the FCC has a representative back here, and she has been by and told us that the cell phone phones are all working fine in the Eastern time zone. The landlines are working fine, so no telecommunications problems, no communication problems with satellites. Amtrak, they shut their trains down at midnight. 5 minutes after midnight, they shut them down at the stations on purpose. 5 minutes after midnight, they got back in operation, rolled those trains out of the station, all went perfectly. And in the air, too, there are no glitches even in the air traffic control in the Eastern time zone. So we have here a mirror image of what happened all around the rest of the globe today. Good news all the way around so far in terms of that Y2K bug.
Hey, Bob, a couple of quick questions. I mean, the officials must be delighted, but they spent a boatload of money ensuring that there wouldn't be a lot of disasters all across the globe, right?
$100 billion spent just here in the U.S. alone. And what they say is, well, was it all for nothing? Did they not have to do that? And then they say, no, that's just not the case, that we wouldn't have had a night like tonight if they hadn't spent that money. So that's what it was all about.
Is it true that we won't know about problems or some of the problems until the start of business Monday morning?
Yeah, I think a lot of these things, I mean, sometimes there are small problems down in. I think you get the big picture now is there are no big outages, anything like that. But the problems that might be down in the system, that'll take a couple of days, and they could come up later on, even leap year later on this year. So they'll have to be watching this for months to come. But I think we're over the huge hump. That's today's headline.
That's good news indeed. Okay, Bob Hager. Bob, thanks so much, and
Surely,
Happy
Katie.
New Year to
yes,
you, Bob.
Happy New Year to you.
Okay, one of the big questions, of course, was ATMs, whether they'd continue to function properly after the clock struck 12. NBC's Mike Jensen is at an ATM where he's, I think, going to try to get some money out, maybe for me, Mike.
If you want it, Katie, if you really need it. The crowds are beginning to come this way. I'm about 20 blocks north of you, and a lot of the people who were in Times Square have come by. And earlier in the day, when I was here, they all wanted to know, is there money in the machines? Now they want to know, are they working, and what about the date? So I just punched it in. I put my card in. I got my $20 bill out, and I just want to show you that we have a January 1st 00. So the Y2K glitch did not happen. Little round of applause for the crowd. Yes. People are very happy that we got through this Y2K. The other thing, Katie, is that we did show me the money. We did we did checks. We did checks all around the country during the day in 7 different cities, about every 3 hours, just to see if the ATMs were going to run out of money. Nobody reported to us that they had run out of money, and the reason for that is that the Federal Reserve just flooded the country with money, $200 billion in 117 vaults, and about $17 billion of that was extra money that went to the banks. They didn't need it, so now that's going to go into mulch, and it will end up in landfill. But the good news is the money is there. The Y2K bug did not strike. You've got a 00 on the receipt. Katie.
All right, Mike Jensen, thanks very much, Mike. $20, don't spend it all in one place, okay? Meanwhile, NBC's Bob Bazell is at St. Vincent's Hospital here in New York, where I understand a little bambino was born right before midnight. Is that right, Bob?
That's right, Katie. My assignment was to bring you the first baby of the millennium. I'm sorry to report I failed, but I have a very good substitute. Here we have William Vera III, who was born just before midnight, one of the last babies of the last millennium. He probably has a very good shot of living on to the next millennium, given how healthcare is improving. And we'll widen out here to show you proud dad, William II. Are you disappointed you didn't have the first baby of the millennium?
Not really. Just happy that I have a bouncy baby boy, healthy and everything. That's all I'm happy about.
And Lou Concepcion, the nurse, how much did he weigh?
He weighed 7 pounds, 2 ounces.
7 pounds, 2 ounces. Look at him. He's very happily looking next to the century, even though he's not the first one. Okay.
He's adorable. Bob, you know, I know a lot of people were concerned about hospital records and the Y2K computer virus. Do you know anything about those?
Absolutely no problems at this hospital and none in any other hospitals that we've checked with. All across the country is the same story with the Y2K. They've had a lot of action in the emergency room here tonight. Drunks, heart attacks, normal kind of things you'd expect on New Year's Eve, but no problems from computer systems and no problems of out of the extraordinary for any kind whatsoever.
All right. Well, that's good news, too. Lots of good news all over the place. Bob
Indeed.
Bazell, thank you, and Happy New Year, Bob. Meanwhile, Pat Dawson is at the bunker where they're monitoring New York City operations. What's the latest from there, Pat?
Katie, I'm afraid I'm going to be a disappointment to you after all the excitement with Mike and his $20 and Bob and the nearly first baby. I can only report to you that what has happened here is absolutely nothing, which is exactly what officials in New York City were looking for. This is the command center, the control center, if you will, for all of their systems. They have been monitoring everything across this city to make sure that it would be working, going up to the coming of the millennium, through the passing of 12 o'clock tonight, and everything is working. We have heard just recently from the deputy mayor of the city of New York, since Mayor Rudy Giuliani is up in your neck of the woods, and he told us that everything was fine. 911 is working, the EMS is working, fire is working, water is working. They don't seem to have any obvious computer problems with any of their other systems as of yet. Tomorrow they'll do a complete check, but obviously they were hoping for a very uneventful and maybe even tedious New Year's Eve. They got it, and that's exactly what they wanted. Everything's quiet, Katie.
Pat Dawson, this is really boring.
I'm sorry. I tried.
But
I did the best I could.
I guess in this case, boring is good. Pat, thank you so much. And we'll be back with much more of our Millennium coverage after these messages.
In the battle to prevent the gum disease gingivitis, floss goes a long way, because floss removes plaque between teeth. But for many, that might not be enough. To kill the germs brushing and flossing may miss, use Listerine. Listerine is the one brand, the only brand, clinically proven to flow into the tiny spaces between teeth, to kill germs and help prevent the gum disease gingivitis. Stand up to gum disease. Get in here and fight. With Listerine, don't let a good mouth go bad.
Now at Zales, you'll find exquisite diamond and platinum jewelry. Your choice, only $199. Here's to another 1,000 years of falling in love. At Zales stores or shop online at Zales.com.
Critics are calling Anna and the King a spectacular epic. One magnificent journey, both romantic and thrilling. It's one of the best films of the decade. Anna and the King, rated PG-13. Now playing.
She's sweet and funny. And just look at her.
What's the catch?
Well, she's really into opera. And she loves chess. She speaks mostly Danish.
Sorry?
Danish.
Let's go to Danish.
Do you think Notre Dame has a website? Larry, focus.
Yeah, Jagheader Larry.
No, not like that.
O-P-E-R-A.
Go to Madame Butterfly? Yeah. Play a game of chess? Let's play a game. This is the most important case. Hi. Tell us the die.
How about those Fighting Irish?
You're a Notre Dame fan?
Snap.com.
The 111th Tournament of Roses Parade. Celebrate the tradition and the pageantry with Nancy O'Dell and Pat O'Brien. New Year's Day, 11:10 Central on NBC.
Wednesdays on NBC. Don't miss the show the New York Times calls the smartest and the best. The critics all agree The West Wing is fabulous and a joy to watch.
We're here for whatever you need.
It's a holiday gift well worth unwrapping.
What's your favorite part about being president?
I'm doing it right now.
The West Wing, 9, 8 Central, NBC Wednesdays. Who wants to win $1 million when you can win big money? 21 is coming to NBC.
An all-new Dateline Sunday. The dating game. Sell by, use by, expires on. What do these really mean? How long can you use certain products after their date?
Probably 3 or 4 days.
Maybe 1 year. I should use it before the date.
Think you know? Log on and take our Consumer Alert quiz. An all-new interactive Dateline Sunday, 7, 6 Central.
Hey, we're well into a new century here in New York, but across the country, the clock is still ticking. We're moving in on the Central Time Zone now, just a few moments away from the stroke of midnight in cities like Chicago and New Orleans. And in New Orleans, NBC's Frederica Whitfield, a city that, well, they always know how to party down there, Frederica.
Well, Tom, it looks like the partying here is reaching its crescendo. We're only minutes away from the stroke of midnight here in the Central Time Zone, here in Jackson Square on the edge of the French Quarter. We've been seeing and hearing from a medley of performers all night on this great stage behind me right here in Decatur Street. We're hearing from a big band, the Wendell Crescenda Trio. They have been joined out there by a big band, as well as some Mardi Gras Indians wearing their traditional feathers and beaded, handmade garb right out there. These folks here in this Crescent City are used to this kind of elaborate entertainment. They see it and hear it all the time. But tonight, a very special performance of sorts. In addition to the live performances here, in just a few minutes, we'll be seeing that the strobe light ball will be dropping along with a statue of Baby New Year, all in concert with a fireworks display over the Mississippi River, and then 500 pounds of confetti, all showered over the 100,000 revelers out here on Decatur Street in Jackson Square. That's it from New Orleans, now to Chicago, and Ann Thompson. Happy New Year, Ann. Happy New Year, Frederica, and welcome to Chicago. We, too, are in the Central Time Zone, just minutes away from midnight and the largest fireworks show in the city's history, which we will bring to you live. Chicago is here at Navy Pier. We've got 70,000 people who have been getting ready all day to party. They've been cheering the countdown, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes to midnight. People here are going to watch the Ferris wheel where we will count down the last 10 seconds of 1999, and it should be a great party that we are more than happy to bring to you live, Tom. It's not quite as big as Times Square, but I can guarantee you that the spirit is every bit as high.
Thanks very much, NBC's Ann Thompson in Chicago tonight. A reminder, we're going all the way across the country. We'll be on the air when the stroke of midnight hits in the Pacific Time Zone as well. So there's still a lot to talk about, a lot to reflect on as we begin a new century, as we call a close to what has been called the American century, a time, at the end at least, of great prosperity and peace in most places in the world. And for that, we can all be very grateful. We'll be back with more on NBC, the Millennium of 2000, after this.
You are in the fight of your life. Just you against your smoking addiction, one-on-one. Trouble is, it's not a fair fight, and few people win it. But you can give yourself a fighting chance to win with Zyban. Zyban doesn't work for everyone. Zyban is part of a comprehensive program from your doctor to help you stop smoking. It's different from nicotine replacements. Zyban is the only prescription medicine that's nicotine-free, so you don't have to stop smoking all at once. As Zyban reduces your cravings, you feel like smoking less and less until you're ready to stop completely because you're ready to win. You should know there is a risk of seizure associated with Zyban. To reduce the risk, don't take Zyban if you have or have had a seizure or eating disorder, or if you take Wellbutrin. Don't take Zyban if you use an MAO inhibitor. Side effects may include dry mouth and difficulty sleeping. Ask your doctor if Zyban is right for you because it can help you quit smoking by making it a fight you can win. Zyban, you don't have to quit all at once.
This is great! At midnight, we'll eat our way into the new millennium with this gigundo party sub from Subway.
And no bacon on my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
4, 3, 2... Oh, well, there's always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Being a cashier, I know that people like her have other places they'd rather be and other places to spend their money.
Our lifetime guarantee means you'll never pay twice for any covered repair. GM Good Wrench Service Plus. It's for life.
I was like her once. Guess I still am.
All right, so, Satori, tell us what it's like to be a professional psychic.
It's like seeing colors in a world that's full of people that are colorblind. Present company excluded, of course. I don't know, I started picking up on the other side when I was 15. Right before I left home, I was charting astral patterns and helping my friends reach their dead grandparents, stuff like that, you know. And then I started to channel spirits from my family. And, got pretty personal. You know, Mouse, could you just turn that thing off? Thanks.
The Others, coming to NBC Saturdays.
The Millennium, a new Center 4 special edition, starts now.
For most of the world, it is already January 1st, 2000. This is a live picture from Chicago, Illinois, in the Central Time Zone, where the clock just struck midnight. In the 1900s, became history there. And we're only 2 time zones away from Y2K here. Good evening, I'm Pete Wilson, and this is a special 1-hour edition of News Center 4 Night Beat. One story dominates the news tonight, the dawn of a new millennium. 2000 already is a whole hour old in the eastern United States. This, of course, is Times Square in New York, where at least 2 million celebrants gathered to yell and to throw confetti and collect memories that will last them a lifetime. And this is a scene now at the Embarcadero in San Francisco, where tens of thousands of people have gathered to watch the fireworks at midnight. We'll have a report on all of that in less than a minute. So far, remarkably, all is quiet at the State of Office of Emergency Services and at other places that are keeping tabs on any possible Y2K computer meltdowns. There have been some minor glitches around the world, but nothing that's greatly inconvenienced people or put them in danger. Now, Steve Rowley, a first look at the 2000 weather.
Well, the first look is going to include a lot of low clouds. They're everywhere across the Bay Area right now. The good news with that is it's holding up some of the numbers. So by midnight, you'll see that we'll be, for the most part, in the 40s. If we had been clear, it would have been a lot colder. We'll have all the details in a few minutes.
And now our top news story. There's only really one news story. 2 hours and counting to our new year, and the Bay Area celebrating already.
That's right. Night Beat reporters are standing by all around the Bay Area to bring you the action live. We're going to begin at San Francisco's Embarcadero. That's the site of the Bay Area's biggest Millennium Bash. Laura Anthony is standing by there. Laura.
Well, Pam, you said it. This is the biggest party and the biggest night in San Francisco's history. The party is just getting underway here, and I can tell you this crowd is definitely in the mood to party. Now, the folks have been coming and steadily building in this area. The crowd is slowly beginning to build. By midnight, we're expecting as many as 200,000 to 300,000 people here along the Embarcadero. This is a huge dance party, laser light show, and the moment everyone will be waiting for, the big fireworks show when the clock strikes 12. It's supposed to be bigger and better than any 4th of July celebration in San Francisco's history. To keep the peace, hundreds of police are on the streets. They're carrying plastic handcuffs and enforcing a zero-tolerance policy toward alcohol consumption. Most people we talked with, though, said they just want to party safely and have a front row seat to history.
Just wanted to celebrate New Year's someplace other than home.
Where's home?
Union City.
So you got a nice front row seat early?
Yes.
We come to have some fun and see the future of 2000, so maybe this would help us.
What do you see?
Lots of parties. It looks like a good time for everybody.
And we're back live here at the Embarcadero. This is a live picture of the ferry building at 11:57, 3 minutes before midnight. Pam, the fireworks show will begin. It's going to be relatively short, about 15 minutes, but they will fire the fireworks from 4 barges along with the ferry building, and we are told this will be the biggest and best fireworks show on the West Coast. Back to you.
Well, I believe that, Laura. Okay, thank you. We'll look for you again later.
Well, no matter what happens at midnight, police have been fully employed in this city tonight. Let's get the latest live from News Center 4's Vic Lee. Vic?
Good evening, Pete, and Happy New Year to you. This has been a relatively happy New Year's Eve here in San Francisco, except for one incident earlier this evening. This, by the way, Pete, is Pier 31, which has been converted into a giant staging area for San Francisco police. This is also where the sheriff's office has built a mock jail, and this is where they took some 20 young people who were arrested at about 8 o'clock this evening. Now, this group had been walking from North Point toward Columbus Avenue in North Beach, and police say they had been breaking side view mirrors and smashing windows of parked cars as they roamed the streets. Now, once they were spotted, however, police units responded very quickly, swooping down on them, making arrests. Now, a police supervisor told me many from this group were from out of town, some from Berkeley, some from as far away as Fresno. But this is exactly what police said they would do, Pete. They said they would react quickly to any problems before they spread and to isolate troublemakers before they became the entertainment for large crowds. So this incident was an example of that strategy working early in the evening.
This is what, I mean, we've talked about the whole time, that when we have situations like this, again, we had myself and the sergeant responded with the 2 squads of officers that came, hit them real fast, and made the arrest. I guarantee you, if we didn't do it now, we will come across them later on tonight, and this takes care of this problem for tonight so far. So it's kind of setting the tone of what we want to do tonight.
Well, that did set the tone, and as I say, we witnessed that strategy working early on this evening. So, except for this incident, Pete, San Francisco has been relatively quiet. Back to you.
Well, Vic, it's been the way we've been getting reports literally all through the day from around the world. That has been remarkably quiet. Vic Lee, live for us. Thanks.
You know what else is remarkably quiet? Computer experts around the globe are breathing a huge sigh of relief tonight because most of the feared Y2K glitches did not appear. News Center 4's Anthony Moore has been monitoring the Y2K rollover throughout the day and the night. Anthony, so far so good.
So far so good, Pam. Where the $300 to $600 billion was spent apparently paid off. Around the world, where it's 2,000 already, infrastructure is reporting no problems. ATMs, electricity, power plants are all working without significant hitches.
Even in Russia, where outdated technology threatened to wreak havoc, at midnight the lights stayed on and nuclear missiles remained in their silos. PG&E now says the 5 industrialized countries it's been monitoring sailed through the rollover without a glitch, so you probably won't experience any power problems either.
I believe that PG&E is Y2K ready. I think that we've spent years working on all of our systems, and I think we're ready.
At California's Office of Emergency Services, the Follow the Sun project noted minor problems. For example, a computer linked to radiation monitoring devices at a Japanese nuclear plant failed, but it wasn't considered serious enough to shut the plant. And on our soil, the FAA's administrator, Jane Garvey, flew through air traffic control midnight en route to San Francisco. Midnight hit at 4 p.m. our time because FAA computers run on English Greenwich Mean Time.
It took thousands of FAA workers, and I think they responded just wonderfully to what was a remarkable challenge, an extraordinary challenge. And there were people who were somewhat skeptical about whether or not we'd get it done.
Well, Y2K will continue to be a concern through the first quarter of 2000 as those back-office business applications begin to be put through their paces on the first business day. Watch your bank statements and watch any statements that you get of a financial nature over the course of the next few months. Pam?
Not out of the woods just yet. All right, Anthony, thanks.
Well, we've already touched on this subject, but San Francisco police have said for weeks that they're prepared for anything. Now it is just wait and see, obviously. News Center 4's Greg Lyon is at the command post. Greg.
Pete, we just got some updated information. 15,000 people, the estimate now for that crowd in the Embarcadero. There have been 5 arrests with 2 injuries, mainly for fist fighting in that crowd, and a separate arrest in North Beach for a man carrying a pistol. But other than that, there's been very little trouble. People here in the command center are, in fact, ready, as you can see, but they've had relatively little to do. But as we said, they are indeed ready. Now, you're looking at the mayor's vest. When the mayor shows up, it says Incident Commander, Mayor Willie Brown. Take a look at what's in the inside here. A Wilkes-Bashford label. You may remember that's the mayor's favorite store. You're looking at Pier 31 now, as Vic Lee said. It's the temporary jail facility. San Francisco is prepared for a lot of arrests, as Sheriff Mike Hennessy explains.
We also have opened up one of the piers down near the Embarcadero, or on the Embarcadero, where we can hold up to 300 arrestees. We've also cleared out the base from the Hall of Justice. We can hold another 100 to 200 there. We've also moved 100 prisoners from our Hall of Justice jail out to Treasure Island, which frees up yet another 100 beds. So we're ready for the first 1,000. After that, it'll get crowded.
The first 1,000, but so far as we know, Pete, as we said earlier, 5 people in jail so far. It's been relatively quiet. Pete, back to you.
Greg, you just point out here that 8 people were arrested, last count, in New York City with that celebration. We had better hope that that's no more than that here.
That's right.
In San Francisco. Thanks a lot.
You bet.
People in the Bay Area making a lasting dash to get home, a last dash rather, to get a party, to get to a party before midnight or wherever they're going. And Anna Duckworth is in the newsroom with Look at Traffic.
And it looks great on the road still. No major backups. There is one accident to report that's in Panola, and that is in the clearing stages. But we do have closures to tell you about in San Francisco around the Embarcadero area. The Embarcadero is shut down between Battery and Harrison Streets. Also, Market Street is shut down between Stewart and Spear. Also, the streets around the Union Square area and the Civic Center are shut down. Those are all for parties in San Francisco. Mass transit is still the best way to go, though, if you're going out tonight. Most systems do have overnight service, including BART, Muni, VTA, Caltrain, and Samtrans. Now, the Golden Gate Ferry has sold out of tickets tonight, and AC Transit is not running buses over the Bay Bridge after midnight. Also, Muni has switched from their electric buses and streetcars over to complete diesel service, but everything is running on time, and it looks really good on the roads. Back to you.
That crowd stays at 15,000. There's going to be no problem. Thanks a lot. Now, the countdown continues around the Bay Area tonight. When we come back, we'll go live to San Jose to see how the Silicon Valley is celebrating all this.
And we'll head to Oakland and the parties at Jack London Square. Most of the world has already celebrated a mostly problem-free and fun Y2K. Through the show, we'll have a look at some of those festivities. This is what the dawn of the year 2000 looked and sounded like in Sydney, Australia.
Tonight, the celebration of the century, and you're invited. New Year's Live, only on Channel 4. From Party Central, the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero in San Francisco, to the Bay Area's biggest parties. Performances by Bonnie Raitt, Huey Lewis and the News, the San Francisco Symphony, and the Pretenders. Plus an unforgettable fireworks extravaganza. One night, one channel, 2,000 reasons to celebrate. New Year's Live. The countdown starts tonight at 11, only on Channel 4. Brought to you by Lexus and these fine sponsors.
The GMC Convoy 2000 is here. Trucks with capabilities that will change the way you look at the road. Professional-grade pickups, SUVs, and family vans, designed better than they need to be. Like the 2000 GMC Sierra Extended Cab, with the most powerful standard V8 in its class. Get up to $1,587 average finance savings with 3.9% APR on select 2000 Sierra models. GMC. Do one thing, do it well.
The Ross After Christmas Clearance. Everything you wanted for Christmas but didn't get is now available at huge savings. The Ross After Christmas Clearance on now.
Hello, I am the giver. Send a gift of fine wine from Send.com. It's much more thoughtful than a fruitcake, which makes people, how do you say, guessy. Send.com, where great givers go.
It's an urban oasis in the heart of San Francisco. See what's blooming at the Yerba Buena Gardens. Back Roads, Saturday at 6 on Channel 4.
Tonight, the celebration of the century, and you're invited. New Year's Live, only on Channel 4. From Party Central, the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero in San Francisco, to the Bay Area's biggest parties. Performances by Bonnie Raitt, Huey Lewis and the News, the San Francisco Symphony, and the Pretenders. Plus an unforgettable fireworks extravaganza. One night, one channel, 2,000 reasons to celebrate. New Year's Live. The countdown starts tonight at 11, only on Channel 4. Brought to you by Lexus and these fine sponsors.
Truly one of my favorite pictures of the night. This was what it looked like in the City of Light, Paris, at midnight. The Eiffel Tower ablaze with fireworks that climbed the spire as the clock counted out 1999. And coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have more from Paris as we follow the millennium all around the globe. In contrast to some of the more wild parties around the Bay Area and the world tonight, many in the South Bay are taking a more subdued approach to the new millennium. News Center 4's Catherine Heenan is in San Jose tonight. She joins us now with the live report. Catherine.
So you're hopping from Paris to San Jose, Pam. That is a contrast, actually. You know, we talked to some out-of-town visitors a while ago, and they said it's a lot more quiet in San Jose than we expected, but they actually kind of liked it. They said they could hear each other talk. So far, I guess you could say the South Bay can boast that it has been ready for anything, but is enjoying a tension-free evening. San Jose has its share of parties. Some good ones are getting underway about now. This one is sponsored by a local restaurant. But so far, it has been a fairly quiet night, giving the 150 extra police officers in San Jose delightfully little to do. Some families are going for low-key, like strolling around the downtown Christmas lights. Visitors are discovering, bottom line, if you want a wild New Year, you're probably in the wrong place.
Well, I was expecting a larger crowd, personally, especially downtown San Jose. On a normal weekend, you see a little more people walking around than today. It's kind of interesting.
Based on what we saw earlier at local video stores, a lot of people are planning to stay home with movies. And apparently plenty of food at this P&W grocery store. They were absolutely swamped.
They're buying all my seafood. They're buying all my red meat, prime ribs. I guess they want to go out in style.
So everybody's having steak and watching us, I guess. One problem this morning in San Jose that is worth noting. Police tell me that they lost the 911 system for about 2 minutes. That does sound dramatic, but they say the backup system quickly kicked in, and at this point, they don't think it was a Y2K-related problem, but we'll be learning more about that in the next couple of days. Pam?
All right, Catherine, thank you for that live report from San Jose.
The North Bay is absolutely no slouch this New Year's Eve with some great entertainment in Marin County tonight. News Center 4's David Wright is live at the party, the big party in San Rafael. David.
Pete, the people keep streaming into this tent where Bonnie Raitt's going to be performing in just a few minutes from now, and they seem to be in a mood to celebrate. Among the other featured performers tonight, Huey Lewis and the News. He will be performing in another tent nearby. And members of the Marin Symphony Orchestra. They've already been entertaining the folks who had dinner. A hot meal came with a ticket. The top price for that ticket, about $300. That's how much the meal would cost you if you came just for the entertainment alone. Thank you very much.
Millennium. Around the Bay or around the world, you won't miss a thing. Stay with us. News Center 4, 24-hour news. With you through the past, with you for the future. Because the best is yet to come.
For the latest on Y2K, stay with News Center 4. The Millennium, a News Center 4 special edition, starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and happy new millennium.
That's right. And I'm Pam Moore. Happy new millennium indeed. It has been an extraordinary day all around the world, and certainly it was capped off here in San Francisco. A mostly peaceful Bay Area greeted the year 2000 just half an hour ago, some with music, some with prayers, and of course, the fireworks. News Center 4's Tom Sinkovitz is at one of San Francisco's biggest bashes at the Embarcadero Center. Tom.
Well, Pam, we are now beating what appears to be an orderly retreat, and I can tell you it's going to take some time. I'm not exactly sure what this crowd numbered. Some estimates put the number at 200,000 before this night's fireworks. It would not surprise me at all if we reached that number, maybe even surpassed it. But again, it's going to take some time. These fireworks couldn't have come at a more opportune time because things were beginning to deteriorate just a little bit around here. The crowd had gotten so big. Let me show you what happened right around our position. This is right around the skating rink that we know is up every year at the Justin Herman Plaza. Suddenly, a chain-link fence was just broken down, and obviously we're not seeing that right now. Well, these are people who are kind of swarming through that. You see them climbing over that chain-link fence, and then they filled up an area where there is construction going on. Clearly, they were not supposed to be there, but as things turned out, probably that was a fairly good development because it served to release some of the pressure that had been building up in these areas. And then at the exact right moment came these extraordinary fireworks, and boy, the skies lit up above the ferry building. It was something to watch. Well, and some of that to the accompaniment of Tony Bennett's I Left My Heart in San Francisco. It really was something to see. I'll admit I've never been a huge fan of fireworks, but if they all look like that, I think I'd be more of a fan. Pam and Pete, it has been a remarkable evening along the waterfront, and we've said this before tonight. I'll say it again. So far, so good. San Francisco may have pulled it off. Back to you.
Yeah, I think they did, Tom. We were just saying that San Francisco's fireworks really ranked up there.
Top three.
With the fireworks around the world.
Well, we were watching.
Beautiful.
It was remarkable. Well, the police, the fire, public health departments have all been on standby tonight for any problems. News Center 4's Greg Lyon has also been at the command post. Let's go there live now, see how we've done so far. Greg?
Pete, we've done very well, and Tom has done very well with his crowd estimates. Police now officially saying it's 250,000 plus down at the Embarcadero. 142 arrests so far. So it was, considering the size of the crowd, it wasn't bad. And Mayor Willie Brown was here about half hour before midnight. He professed himself delighted both with the city and its people, with one small disappointment.
I personally was not pleased with the boarded up storefront. That, you know, people have a right to do what they wish with their private property.
As for the Y2K glitch, the fabled Y2K glitch, there was one of them out at San Francisco General Hospital when the computer out there refused to write prescriptions for about 3 hours. But apparently that problem has now been fixed. And on a lighter note, there was a Y2K problem right here in the press room as a representative of the mayor's Y2K office was explaining how well things had gone. Let's watch.
All of this is to let you know that everything, for the most part, is functioning normally. Almost everything. We do have a few issues that are not Y2K related. They are normal maintenance issues, and we are in the process of repairing them.
And Pete, I think we can tell you, if Stan can show behind me perhaps, that it has in fact been repaired. The seal is back up there on the wall again, so all is well here in the press room. Pete?
All right. All right, Greg, we hope that's as bad as it gets, Greg.
You
Thanks
bet.
a lot.
You bet.
Well, one of the more isolated emergencies tonight was a fire in North Beach. News Center 4's Vic Lee is on the scene with a live update for us. Vic.
Well, things were really quiet here in North Beach, which is historically a trouble spot for police, until a fire started in an apartment building on Kearney Street about an hour ago, right next to Enrico's restaurant. It was a 6-unit apartment building. The fire, fortunately, was contained to the second-floor apartment. Firefighters were able to evacuate a mother and 2 children. Apparently, no one else was in the building. No casualties reported by the firefighters, but the fire, of course, tied up traffic around here, around North Beach, for about a half an hour. But it was a quick response by firefighters that helped save the situation. Back to you.
Okay, Vic, thank you.
As the festivities raged along San Francisco's waterfront within sight of the Bay Bridge, 8 people were arrested as they attempted to get a bird's eye view, perhaps. The 8 were taken into custody just after 11 o'clock as they scaled the San Francisco anchorage of the Bay Bridge. Police say the climbers were apparently dropped off by a boat. Why they were climbing the bridge to begin with is not yet clear.
Well, the birth of this new millennium was a religious experience for those who crowded into San Francisco's Union Square tonight. And that's where News Center 4's Linda Yee is standing by with a live update for us. Linda.
Well, Pam, I am sitting on top of the world here. I'm right over Union Square. It is a pretty empty square right now. Maybe that's how the organizers would like it, because it is now way past the midnight hour. You do hear a few people still screaming and shouting on the streets, but for the most part, it's a pretty calm crowd out here. It wasn't like that about 30 minutes ago. Take a look at the tape. Just as they were counting down the minutes, they had a little mini fireworks going off on the top of the St. Francis Hotel. It was a pretty impressive sight, although probably not as good as what you saw on the Embarcadero. In the meantime, people on stage, led by the Reverend Cecil William and the Glide Ensemble, they were singing and dancing and hugging and just welcoming in the new century in a very peaceful and calm way, but jubilant way. This was a very high secure area. They were not letting anybody in that did not have a ticket. 20,000 tickets were available, but I have to say that tonight probably no more than 1,000 people were here, maybe only 600 or 700, really, to say the truth. That's all I really saw here. But it was a very well-behaved crowd, in contrast to what happened here a year ago when rioters stormed through the area breaking windows. So when the city officials decided to make this a spiritual celebration, maybe they had the right idea, because this was a very well-behaved crowd, one that had a pretty good time because it was really rocking here for about 2.5 hours, and everybody just left quietly after the celebration was over. And so now the cleanup begins. Back to you, Pam.
All right, Linda, anybody who's heard the Glide Choir knows they can really rock.
Right. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Thank you.
Well, Bonnie Raitt, among others, the hot tickets in the North Bay tonight. News Center 4's David Wright is live in San Rafael with all the festivities. This San Rafael celebration was big, David, kind of snuck up on people.
It was a very big thing. The San Rafael seemed to get its act together a bit sooner than some of the other cities around the Bay Area, and so they had some major headliners performing. The crowd is beginning to thin out from what it was moments ago when Bonnie Raitt was performing. But some of the folks say that they're just going to the other tent, but a lot of the folks seem to be packing it in. This was the celebration to come to if you were interested in great entertainers. The headliners included Bonnie Raitt, as well as Huey Lewis and the News, among others. There were also performances by lots of local bands and the Marin Symphony Orchestra. All told, 12,000 people were expected for this event, and easily the organizers met that goal. It was not an inexpensive ticket, $225 just to see the entertainment, $300 if dinner was included. So it was a pricey ticket, but well worth it to many of the folks who came here. They seem to be having a good time. Pete, back to you.
All right, David, thanks a lot.
Well, there were no big-name headliners in Oakland tonight, but there was plenty of celebrating going on. News Center 4's Joe Oliver is in Oakland's Office of Emergency Service, and he joins us now with live report. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Pam. Yes, the celebrations went off with a lot of gunshots not too far from here. It may have contributed to a power outage in Oakland. It's about 6,000 people without power. It is not Y2K related. Apparently, a transformer is involved. There were shots fired, and police are on the scene in the 900 block of 73rd Avenue in the Havens Court area. Now, there were a lot of other things going on tonight, a lot of parties, private parties, as well as hard rock concerts, but not as many people apparently showed up as were expected. For instance, the rock band Primus held its annual concert at the Kaiser Auditorium. They've held a concert on New Year's Eve for the past few years and expected 10,000 people tonight, but only about 2,000 people showed up to mosh in the Millennium. They expected at least 2,000 at a rave down the block from Jack London Square, but only about 1,000 showed up to dance the night away with lasers and black lights aglow. A lot of people apparently choosing to stay close to home tonight. The ones who did make it out made it to the USS Hornet, and they had the chance to tap in the year 2000 aboard a ship that played a huge role in the past century, serving nobly in World War II, and also picking up Neil Armstrong after his historic walk on the moon. At Jack London Square, no official celebrations had been planned, but a number of people caught a cruise on the bay or just showed up in their limousines for their dinner reservations at the area restaurants or to party in the surrounding hotels. Now, here at the Office of Emergency Services, the city manager, chiefs of police, and the fire department are still upstairs in their operation room. However, they started sending people home at around 8 o'clock, another wave at 10 o'clock, even though they were prepared to fully staff the center all through the weekend. But because of very little glitches, they've been following the events around the world and have prepared for them here in Oakland. An investment an investment that they are glad they made, having 250 police officers out on the street tonight with virtually no problems. Pam, Happy New Year.
Same to you, and that's good news, Joe. We're glad to hear that. Live from Oakland tonight.
We really had a day of good news on most fronts. In the South Bay, crowds were smaller than in San Francisco, but of course no less enthusiastic. And Catherine Heenan, no less enthusiastic, is with us now in San Jose. Catherine.
Yeah, but everybody who's decided to come downtown is suddenly around me. I don't know if that's good or bad. We don't have the huge kind of public gatherings you have in San Francisco, but there were a lot of parties. We'll show you one that was going on just a couple blocks away. No less than 10. This was an outdoor party 2 blocks away. This is how they were celebrating. A lot of young people, loud music. San Jose also had a lot of families, a lot of kids. A lot of people who said that they appreciated the fact that, for the most part, it was fairly low-key around here. Can you believe the guy on the cell phone in the middle of all of that, trying to have a conversation. I talked to the police just a few minutes ago. They said amazing night. They have had a few calls, things like people playing music too loud. So it has been a terrific night for the cops and I think for people in San Jose. Pete?
You know, the problem is not the people playing music too loud. It's the people who complained about people playing music too loud on the end of the millennium. All right, Catherine Heenan, thanks a lot.
Well, we certainly want everybody to know that even at this hour, if you have any questions about Y2K, whether it has to do with transportation schedules, traffic, or if you have a news tip to report, our staff is standing by. The number is on your screen right now, 1-800-773-1116. And we have a lot more ahead on this first hour of the year 2000. The Y2K bug turns out to be more of a blip than a breakdown.
And more on this special edition of News Center 4 coming up.
It's an urban oasis in the heart of San Francisco. Saturday at 6 on Back Roads. See what's blooming at the Yerba Buena Gardens.
Ready? Action.
Back Roads, Saturday at 6 on Channel 4. Sunday at 6 on Back Roads. Discover hidden Hawaii. From Maui's volcanic moonscapes to its remote lagoons, to the tiny island of Midway and its natural and historic significance. A Hawaiian adventure awaits you Sunday at 6 on Back Roads.
It started with simple things like if I didn't put what he wanted on his sandwich, he would get angry.
She's your sister.
After years, it became, you know, abusive as far as, you know, I had a black eye or I've had a broken nose.
She's your mom.
It turned out to, you know, being pregnant and being kicked in the stomach or a gun being held to my head.
She's a friend.
I used to lie about why I was having miscarriages. I was pregnant 10 times. I only have 2 kids.
She could be you.
I left to save my kids, not to save me. My goal was my 2 boys were not going to be abusive, grow up and be abusive men.
Domestic violence hurts. Call Battered Women's Alternatives for help. BWA, 1-888-215-5555, night or day.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. BWA gave me back my life.
If you really want peace and quiet this New Year's, we know the place. San Francisco International Airport, nearly deserted this evening. Officials say the normally bustling airport was running at less than half capacity, with flights canceled, a dizzying pace, in fact, of cancellations. The airport did face one problem: where to park all the planes staying tonight at SFO, planes that would normally be in the air. But
that's
they managed.
Strange sight.
Well, people were afraid, and they canceled all these trips, but there was nary a problem.
That's right. Well, with the parties breaking up and some of the revelers now heading home, we want to check on Bay Area traffic, and Anna Duckworth is keeping an eye on the roads for us. Anna.
Happy New Year, Pam, and it is still looking really good on the roadways. Most people, of course, haven't left the big parties in San Francisco yet, so on the Golden Gate Bridge, traffic is still at the limit. Heading northbound into Marin and southbound coming into San Francisco, still at the limit as well. Meanwhile, on the Bay Bridge, traffic is looking just as good. We had some slower traffic earlier in the hour during the Embarcadero fireworks show, but as you can see, it's picked up. We can see the upper deck coming into San Francisco, still fine. And a reminder that the Embarcadero and the Union Square area still closed until 4 this morning, and streets around the Civic Center will stay closed until 8 a.m. There are still plenty of mass transit options. Muni, VTA, and Samtrans still free all night. BARTer's running trains every 20 minutes, still no bikes until 3 a.m. AC Transit has regular East Bay service, but they are not coming over the Bay Bridge until 6 in the morning. And Caltrain also running extra trains. So it's been a very happy New Year so far for transit, Pam.
Well, a lot of those 200,000 plus folks are probably just about ready to head home, so we'll see if it changes. Thanks, Anna.
Well, it must have come as an enormous disappointment to the doomsayers on the internet, but the vaunted Y2K computer bug failed to bite anywhere around the world. News Center 4's Anthony Moore has been watching the rollover, and he's here with the latest. And frankly, we're not out of the woods on this deal yet, but here's Anthony.
That's right, Pete. But the embedded system spike, that spike that some had worried about that might cause microprocessors in hardware, did not happen. Phones, electricity, banks were all spared the Y2K computer bug. Computers controlling everything from airlines to cash machines to military operations rolled over smoothly into the new millennium. Now, FAA Administrator Jane Garvey arrived just within the hour to San Francisco International Airport. She was on a cross-continental PR tour to tout the integrity of the air traffic control system. It is a testament to the $300 to $600 billion that's been spent around the world so far fixing Y2K bugs that there has been almost nothing to report on this issue. The kinds of things we've been seeing have been what the National Electric Reliability Council just reported. 8 utilities around the nation say that they had clocks that were unable to hit the rollover properly. They synchronized with a satellite off to GMT. They're not the kind of clocks that are crucial to operations. They say it's a nuisance type thing. The clocks were reset and everything was working properly. But as you say, Pete, we're still going to have some Y2K issues in the coming days. On Monday, the first business day of the new year, we're going to want to see how businesses handle the Y2K issue, because a lot of them have many, many hundreds of millions of lines of code that have had to be gone over and looked at, and we're going to find out beginning Monday whether that kind of software has been fixed. But the embedded system spike, that small microchip that's in so much hardware, appears to have been able to make it through this rollover period with no problems at all. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Anthony, for the way you watched this whole thing during the course of the last year and a half. I'm a little concerned about my videotape machine. It took me 10 years to set that thing in the first place.
That's why I never said much.
Yes, I know.
When we come back, more from San Francisco, where the party is still going on.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Sunday at 6 on Back Roads, discover hidden Hawaii. From Maui's volcanic moonscapes to its remote lagoons, to the tiny island of Midway and its natural and historic significance. A Hawaiian adventure awaits you Sunday at 6 on Back Roads.
The new millennium and News Center 4 is there. Coverage continues Saturday at 6 on a special daybreak with the celebration cleanup and the latest on any Y2K developments. Don't miss a minute of the millennium. News Center 4 24-hour news.
There will be 365 days till I can drive across town to help my cousin with his homework. You know what I'm saying? 52 weeks till I take my friends to the drive-thru after school. Check it out. A year of going out with my lady on the bus. I try to cover my high. The CHP saw right through it. I lost my license, my job, my car, everything. I had to pay the price. Don't do it. Never drink and drive. Check yourself.
This planet we call Earth, a remarkable confluence of time, space, and majesty, which has given life to more than 10 million species. An amazing place of truly amazing grace. We are caretakers for the preservation of this Earth. Our mission is to ensure diversity is preserved, for from diversity comes new food, new cures, new life. We are World Wildlife Fund, almost 4 decades old and more than 1 million members strong. With your help, we can keep this planet in a state of grace. Please call for your free action kit with 10 simple things you can do to help leave our children a living planet.
Well, we hope you got to see some of it, because one of the biggest New Year's Eve parties in the Bay Area was along San Francisco's waterfront. News Center 4's Laura Anthony is live at the Embarcadero with the celebration there. Laura.
Well, Pam, I can tell you that San Francisco has moved safely into the next millennium, and what an incredible party this was. As you can see behind me, this huge crowd, estimated at more than 200,000 people, has dispersed rather quickly and so far rather safely. Of course, there are lots of police here on the street, some of them in riot gear. All of this was a spectacular show. As the clock struck 12, the fireworks were unleashed from the top of the ferry building and 4 barges sitting out on the bay. The show was relatively short at 15 minutes, but incredible to say the least. It started with a lightning strike effect and then moved on to 10 segments, each symbolizing decades of the 20th century. This was billed as the biggest fireworks display on the West Coast, and it did not disappoint this huge crowd. For the most part, this has been an incredibly safe celebration. There have been just a handful of arrests, a relatively small number, a bit over 100, about 140, as we heard from Greg Lyon, mostly for drunkenness and the like, nothing terribly serious, and just a few minor injuries to report. For the most part, this has been a very uplifting, breathtaking celebration, certainly befitting of a new millennium. And we are back live here at the Embarcadero, showing you the crowd as it disperses. And Pam, so far from what we can tell, it looks like folks are moving along relatively quietly as the police just sort of keep an eye on things here and make sure it stays safe through the rest of the night. Back to you.
All right, Laura, thank you for that live report for us.
It was almost as if they threw a party and no one came, at least for paramedics in Oakland. News Center 4's Noelle Cisneros spent her New Year's in an ambulance, which was an interesting assignment. Noelle, you might explain.
Well, I'm still awake. That's what I'm happy for. You know, Pete, you're right, it was kind of a strange night. It's hard to imagine a calmer night for paramedics. In fact, from Fremont, well, wow, that's like the most exciting thing that's happened to us all night. From Fremont to Berkeley, it was downright sleepy out here. If there was going to be widespread mayhem, American medical response was determined to be ready.
Pretty insecure about what exactly is going to happen. It's either going to be a big nothing or a big something, and staffed a lot of extra ambulances and got a lot of people on the street, so just wait and see.
With 86 ambulances in the field and the weapons of mass destruction expert at headquarters, monitoring for any unusually large number of calls, particularly of AIDS patients who might be the first to show symptoms of a biological attack.
In the case of a nerve agent, we would be looking for pinpoint pupils if it was a vapor that they were exposed to, running of the nose, the mouth, bronchoconstriction, asthma-like symptoms that can get very profound, very severe. If it were liquid agent, it would probably be a gastrointestinal effects that come on first.
But the calls never came. This is College Avenue at 9 p.m., downtown at 10 o'clock, 880 at 11 o'clock. Oaktown was a ghost town.
All right, does your neck hurt?
There were a few calls. This was a scuffle at a homeless shelter, but most were routine medical emergencies. Overall, calls had dropped way off.
It's like extremely dead. We have about 3 times as many available ambulances as we do on a normal Friday night tonight, and about 1/3 of the call volume so far. I mean, it's really weird, uncanny.
Just the kind of weird, uncanny night emergency crews were hoping for. All right, now it's still early on paramedic time. The bars don't open or don't get out until 2 o'clock, so we still have time to get in some trouble here. But judging by the early evening traffic, looks like we got off to a safe and healthy start to the new millennium. Pete?
And it was that way worldwide, Noelle. It's really extraordinary.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, up next, we'll check in on the big party at the Embarcadero. Plus, Silicon Valley engineers are up late tonight waiting for any signs of you-know-what.
Save in every department at Circuit City's New Year's sale. Pay no interest till January 2001 on all purchases $2.99 and up. Don't miss the savings at Circuit City's New Year's sale.
The new millennium and News Center 4 is there. Coverage continues Saturday at 6 on a special daybreak with the celebration cleanup and the latest on any Y2K developments. Don't miss a minute of the millennium. News Center 4 24-hour news.
It's an urban oasis in the heart of San Francisco. Saturday at 6 on Backroads. See what's blooming at the Yerba Buena Gardens.
Ready? Action.
Backroads, Saturday at 6 on Channel 4.
60,000 disasters a year all come down to one single terrible moment for someone. Call now, because help can't wait.
Let's take a quick roundabout look at New Year celebrations around the world. In France, Paris puts on a show worthy of its nickname, the City of Light. Packed with fireworks and lasers, the Eiffel Tower exploded like a bottle of champagne. Security tight, no problems, with an estimated 750,000 people who came to party in Paris. An estimated 5 million people crowded the beaches of Rio de Janeiro for 18 minutes of fireworks. I said 5 million people at the beach. It's an annual tradition, but this was a record crowd. As part of this tradition, they dress in white and toss white flowers and perfume into the seas, gifts for the goddess of the sea. Brazilians call this the largest beach party in the world. You would think they're probably right. When New York saw 2000, Times Square exploded into a wild street party, the sky filled with fireworks and with confetti. Concerns about terrorism or about crowds did not keep people away, and they needn't have been concerned. More than 1 million people, maybe as many as 2, filled the streets in and around the square. Police actually started turning people away around 9 o'clock, which meant spillover crowds all the way to Central Park, which is 20 blocks away, and there were 8 arrests at last count.
Well, we did hear Anthony Moore talk a bit about this earlier. This, of course, was Y2K's early test for computer problems. But the word from Silicon Valley, even at this hour, is Y2A-OK. And for more on that, Sue Kwan is at Network Associates in Santa Clara. Sue.
Oh, that's right. They've been busy tonight, but researchers here at Network Associates, as well as employees all over the Silicon Valley, are ringing in the new year with a sigh of relief. Yahoo engineers spent much of the day hiding out in their Y2K bunker with plenty of room for family, gourmet provisions, and, of course, entertainment. They are ringing in the new year and celebrating what appears to be a successful attempt to make Yahoo Y2K ready.
It's been a bit of a letdown. We're all sort of on high alert here, and nothing much going on.
And that's what computer users are finding when they log on to the net. Websites are up and running. Researchers at Keynote Systems in San Mateo found surges in internet activity when the new year hit around the globe.
We got to New Zealand and Australia, we did start to see the spike we were talking about at midnight, and that was actually a surprise. I didn't think there'd be that many people crazy enough to log into their computer right after they had their first New Year kiss.
No New Year's Eve kisses for these guys here tonight. They've been working quite hard, and they have found 15 Y2K-related viruses. So they say the best defense is to make sure all those antivirus programs are up to date. Back to you.
Thank you, Sue.
Good job. Happy New Year. Happy New Millennium. Just a quick mention here. Cal Pacific Med Center phoned us just a little while ago. They say that they had a baby born at 12:10. Now, 12:10 and 12 and 10 seconds, actually, I believe it was. So so that could be the candidate for the New Millennium baby here, but we know at least 5 other women were in labor at another hospital.
General.
So they'll be fighting to see who got close.
They'll all check in tomorrow.
Indeed. I'm Pete Wilson.
And I'm Pam Moore. For all of us here at News Center 4, we wish you and your family a very happy New Year.
This was a good one. Good night.
Holiday bowl games. You could spend the next week watching classics like this.
Or you could come to the Gotta Get a Kia year-end sales event. You get a 2000 Sophia starting at $92.45 after $750 cash back. So, it's up to you. Either get $750 cash back during the Gotta Get a Kia year-end sales event, or enjoy the game.
Come on, Dolomite! Touchdown! Give me seat! Yeah!
Highlights on Sports Update.
It's been an amazing journey we've taken this year. From sand dunes to skyscrapers, you've watched the years unfold on Channel 4. Now, the station that knows the Bay Area best proudly brings you the most complete coverage of the new millennium. Around the Bay or around the world, you won't miss a thing. Stay with us. News Center 4, 24-hour news. With you through the past. With you for the future, because the best is yet to come.
For the latest on Y2K, stay with News Center 4. New Year's Eve 1999, the biggest night of the century. 2,000 years in the making. Midnight celebrations are sweeping their way across the planet, and now it's our turn. Tonight, from the San Francisco Bay Area, Channel 4 brings you the final countdown of 1999 with performances by Bonnie Raitt, The Pretenders, Huey Lewis and the News, and the San Francisco Symphony, plus a midnight century-ending special effects extravaganza you won't forget. This is New Year's Live, the final countdown. Brought to you by Lexus. Who knew driving a Lexus could feel so exhilarating? And now, the host of New Year's Live, Lisa Canning.
We're live at the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero. Oh yeah, it's home of the world's largest indoor atrium. And now, one of the biggest parties ever. We like to call this Party Central. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year to you. You're not going to believe what we've got planned for you tonight. The last hour of the century, and we are going to make every single minute count. You've got a front row seat, the best seat in the house. Fireworks, laser, light show. The Bay Area has never seen anything like this. Tonight, we've got performances from Bonnie Raitt, Huey Lewis and the News, The Pretenders, and also the San Francisco Symphony. A little something for everybody. For the next 90 minutes, we're live at one of the biggest events in the Bay Area. Now, across the street from the Hyatt at the historic Ferry Building is our very own Brian Hackney, who is literally above it all. He's on the roof. Brian, you have to have the best view in the house tonight.
I'll tell you, we've got a fabulous view, Lisa, high above the Embarcadero, where right across the street, one of the biggest outside parties is happening right now. 100,000 people have jammed Justin Herman Plaza for San Francisco's most ambitious fireworks show ever. We're all standing by. People are flooding Market Street. We'll have the fireworks for you live in a few minutes. That's the latest on the party outside. Let's go back to the party inside with Lisa Canning.
Thank you very much. We can hardly wait to find out more, but your wait's not very long. Right now, though, we're going to head across the bay, anchored just outside Treasure Island, are two Royal Caribbean cruise ships with front row seats to tonight's extravaganza. Let's go to Dennis O'Donnell, the envy of a lot of people. He's the lucky guy aboard one of them right now. Dennis.
Yeah, you just said Brian had the best seat in the house. I don't think so. Welcome aboard, everybody, to the cruise ship Rhapsody. And tonight, we are going to take you from the ship and kind of give you a captain's view of what San Francisco fireworks look like from aboard this cruise ship. Let's take a look inside this boat and show you, well, kind of what you're missing tonight and what we saw inside. That's an indoor pool that comes complete with a couple of spas, which is pretty nice. And, of course, the statuary on this thing is hard to believe as well. Now, there's I think, what did I count, 8 bars on this boat. It's just incredible. This is the lounge inside. And then everybody getting ready for a major New Year's celebration tonight. A party begins here at 11:30. but you're going to see the fireworks from aboard the cruise ship Rhapsody.
I think that pool's going to come in real handy later on to cool things off on the boat. We'll check in with the Rhapsody later on. They're really rocking. Now, heading north in what's usually a very quiet city, Millennium Party 2000 is happening. 10 different parties, ladies and gentlemen, and Susan Blake is in the middle of it all.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Lisa, I'm at an intimate little gathering with Bonnie Raitt and about 5,000 of her closest friends. We have quite a party here in San Rafael tonight, and this one is not even the only party just down the street. We have Huey Lewis. We have Elvin Bishop. There's Joe Louis Walker, and there's even the Marin Symphony. So there is a lot going on here tonight, a lot of parties for me to try to get to. I don't know how I'm going to do it all. So I'll check back in with you in just a few minutes, Lisa.
Okay, Susan, now we have even more party for you. Let's head to the heart of downtown San Francisco in Union Square, where there's a different kind of celebrating going on. Johnny Steele literally has his finger on the pulse. Johnny, what's going on?
It's a very different vibe down here. As you can see, the city's religious leaders put together a big lineup tonight. We've already seen bands, poets, musicians, drummers from other countries. The mayor has spoken here. Reverend Cecil himself will join us in a few minutes. Rockets are going off at midnight. And also, we got Theater Flamenco performing live behind us. I'll be here all night to bring you all that's happening. All right, Lisa?
Thank you, Johnny. Great hat, by the way. I love it. What an unbelievable evening this is going to be. Midnight has happened in a lot of places. This is our turn. Right here at the Hyatt Regency, where I am, it is rocking. We've got 4 parties, and I got a lot of friends here with me. Say hey to San Francisco, you guys. At midnight right here, we're going to have confetti cannons. We're going to have over 20,000 balloons drop from above. It's going to be wild. The big climactic moment, of course, you heard a lot about this, the pyrotechnic laser show. It's planned for midnight on the dot over the Ferry Building in Embarcadero. The Bay Area has never seen anything like this. It's really going to be special. For the inside scoop and the behind-the-scenes look, let's join the man on the roof, Brian Hackney.
Hi, Lisa. Yeah, let's come back. I just wanted to show you exactly where I am, too. This is the top of the Ferry Building. This is the edge of the roof. Right over the edge of the roof is the Embarcadero. And out beyond that is where you see 100,000 people that have gathered tonight, all night, since sunset. They have watched a big screen show. What's going to be happening is that they are going to be shooting off thousands of fireworks from the top of the building. And they were preparing for this over the past 24 hours, loading shots into this. There are 20 different locations on the roof where they have prepared these fireworks. Easily the most ambitious fireworks show the city has ever put on. In addition to what's happening on top of the Ferry Building, there are 4 barges in the bay that they will also be launching fireworks from. Some of the barges on the bay have cannons that are 12 inches in diameter. It's all going to be happening, as you can see, from one of San Francisco's most famous landmarks, about 55 minutes from now, the famous Ferry Building, where we will be broadcasting live as the fireworks happen within the hour. So, Lisa, we'll be standing by and bringing you up to date on what's happening here at the Embarcadero in a few minutes. Let's go back inside the Hyatt Embarcadero with Lisa Canning.
Wow, a whole lot of people out there in Union Square. Well, we got a lot of people. We got laser, we got lights, we've got fireworks. We've got it all. Welcome, 2000 in the Bay Area. Let's join Miss Bonnie Raitt right now. She's going to sing Love Letters for us.
Sitting in front of your house. I'm working on a love letter. I got my radio on. Got my eye on your window pane. I smoked a lot of cigarettes. Mercy, mercy, baby, love is strange. Yeah, you haven't even kissed it yet. Come to push come to shove, so come to touch it, touches come to love, working on a love letter, listening to a love song, writing you a love letter, with my come to shove, shove comes to touch, and touches come to love. Love don't sit away, love don't behave, love's waiting in this car, in this pouring rain, working on a love letter, listening to a love song, writing you a love letter, on my radio, radio.
This is how we celebrate the end of the year. Miss Bonnie with her bad self. Parties, performers, pyrotechnics, it's all right here. You gotta stick around. We are just getting started.
Up next, San Rafael parties with Huey Lewis and the News. New Year's Live, brought to you by Compaq and by Toyota. Your Northern California Toyota dealers invite you to celebrate the new millennium with a new 2000 model year Toyota car or truck.
The new millennium and new Center 4 is there. Coverage continues Saturday at 6 on a special daybreak with the celebration cleanup and the latest on any Y2K developments. Don't miss a minute of the millennium. New Center 4 24-hour news.
You got stuff, lots of stuff. Stuff you never wear, stuff you never use. College stuff, high school stuff, plug-in stuff, wind-up stuff, kids stuff, stuff coming out of stuff. Hey, who needs all that stuff?
It's okay, it's not a live animal. It's not the shoes that you wanted.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Honey, you gotta see this.
Okay.
You'll find values you never believed possible.
You like it?
10.
Whoa. The December to Remember sales event ends January 3rd. Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
Welcome back to the party of the century on Channel 4's New Year's Live.
Welcome back, everybody. I just love this dress. It's called a shelf dress, and it might be shelving too much. I got to watch it all night, I think. Anyway, we're about to celebrate midnight, the end of the year here in just a little bit, but it's happened all over the world. In Paris, for example, the Eiffel Tower was lit up with giant sparklers. Beautiful. Look at that. Paris, France. Wow. Bethlehem celebrated with its own pyro-spectacular wonders. Ooh. All right. All right. Very nice. And London, the show took over the River Thames. And in New York, more than 1 million people gathered in Times Square to watch the ball drop. Oh, my goodness. All right. All right, New York. I'm somewhat impressed. But we're in San Francisco, and we're the news now, and this is what's happening right now. We've got another member of our New Year's team I'd like you to meet. He's someone whose face you may not know, but you definitely know his voice. Watch this.
Down the stretch they come. Cat thief digging in at the rail. Worldly Matter with Jerry Bailey. Charismatic trained by Lucas on the outside. Now Lucas running 1-2. Charismatic on the outside. Takes command. On the inside, Cat thief. In the middle of the track, Menifee is flying.
Whoa, yes, he knows how to get you worked up to count us down into the final moments of 1999. There's no other choice here in the Bay Area. It's got to be Dave Johnson. Hey, you welcome. Dave is the perfect person. Many of you racing fans, you know him as the voice of the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont. Tonight, he is calling the final minutes of the century for us. That's a big job.
Well, it is, and it's a different gig. Usually, I'm calling one horse against another, but tonight,
we're in the race, and it's against the clock. And you know what, Lisa?
What?
That clock is going to win. But what a finish line that we're all headed to. And the race that we're in tonight is not measured in distance, but in time. And we're all going to that winner's circle that is labeled 2,000.
Oh, boy. You think we're going to be here after midnight?
I think we are. Here's how it's going to work.
Okay.
We don't want any of our viewers to miss any of the special midnight moments at any of our parties around the Bay Area. So we're going to start our countdown to the new year at 11:57. See, that gives us a chance to go to all of the parties, watch the buildup of the fireworks and the laser and the light show spectacular down at the Embarcadero. It's going to be great.
Okay, we're definitely going to check with you in just a little bit. We've got about 45 minutes to post time, but before we start celebrating the new year, let's go over to Union Square at downtown San Francisco. Our own Johnny Steele. He's got the word on what's happening out there. Hey, Johnny.
How you doing? Whoa, flamenco. This is truly an ecumenical celebration of life and diversity, and the merchants and the churches and the government of San Francisco, the city of San Francisco, got together and decided to do this incredible thing. This is a ticketed event, but tickets were free. You had to get them in advance. 10,000 people are predicted to be here. Glide Memorial Church marched down here to kick this thing off a couple of hours ago, and I have Reverend Cecil, who was one of the guys who started this whole event. Cecil, I've never felt a vibe like this on New Year's Eve anywhere before. I was going to ask you, is this successful? But clearly it is. I mean, what are your feelings about this?
Well, we wanted to make sure that rather than violence, that we would create acts of peace. We would have a venue where we would be peaceful, but yet exciting and moving and loving. And that's what we hope we've done. We hope we've made this a very loving experience for all the people who've come.
You must be overwhelmed. I mean, nothing like this, I don't think, that I know of has ever happened on New Year's Eve in San Francisco. I mean, folks are hugging, the mayor has been here. It's incredible.
Yeah, you know, and I think the important thing is that many times we get caught in a way of trying to celebrate New Year's Eve, and it's destructive because we get into trouble and we trouble ourselves. And so rather than have that occur, we want this to be a spiritual event where people come together in unity and diversity.
Well, it definitely looks like that happens tonight. I'm sure you have a wish for the year 2000?
My wish is that one way for all of us to be with each other is to stand up and make sure that we care and love each other.
Well, it's a good start tonight, Reverend. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's good being here.
Johnny Steele, back to you, Lisa.
Oh, very nice. Thank you, Johnny. My wish as well. Up in San Rafael, the tents are set and 10 parties are in full swing, ladies and gentlemen. Susan Blake knows what's happening. Hey, Susan.
Hey, Lisa, we're with Bonnie Raitt. As I was telling you a little bit earlier, you know, Rolling Stone actually named this party here in San Rafael one of the best in the country this year. And no doubt, it's not just because of the lineup. It is also because of all the different venues. There are some 10 different venues. There's classical, there's blues, rock, jazz, salsa, disco even. Now, it probably set everybody back about $225. That, of course, is unless you went for dinner first, and then it was $300 for a ticket. They planned on, for all of the venues here in San Rafael, about 12,000 people. There have been up to about 4,000 or 5,000 right here at Bonnie Raitt. As I mentioned a little earlier, Huey Lewis is just a little stroll away, so I went down and caught up with him a little bit earlier this evening before he took the stage. Huey, hometown crowd, this is the Millennium Party. You have to really be excited about this.
I am. I mean, this is a lot of fun, and you know, I was just thinking just a minute ago, in the 70s, we used to play a little place called the Scoreboard over here on 4th Street. And so this will be, after midnight, this will be our 4th decade in San Rafael. So quite a difference now than then, but a lot of friends, and it's going to be a big night.
What about New Year, New Millennium wishes for you or your family?
Well, peace and prosperity for everybody. The end to overpopulation, hunger, and a couple world championships for the Giants, and return to glory for the 49ers.
That'd be great. And any salutations for the Bay Area as we close this off?
Well, I just think we're all very lucky to live in this area, you know, so obviously we're throwing the kind of party deserving of a great area like this, and it's just a great place to be.
Huey, thank you. I'll tell you, that was a relaxed Huey. It was just a couple of minutes later that the volume and the energy level over there got really pumped up, Lisa. Having a great time here in San Rafael.
Well, I'm having a great time myself here at the Hyatt. I've got a whole lot of friends here with me. And tell me, what's your name?
Arthur.
Arthur, you've got a ring in hand.
Yes, I do.
What's the plan?
I want this girl to marry me. Will you marry me?
Yes. How much champagne have you had?
Oh, just a little.
Okay, you're clear thinking.
What?
You're thinking clearly.
I'm thinking clear.
Congratulations to both of you. We've got a whole lot still to come here at the Hyatt. Stay right there.
The final countdown continues on Channel 4. Stay with us as we celebrate with a symphony of sound.
There is a time for action and a time for adventure. That time is now. Toyotathon 2000. Hurry to this blockbuster event for great Toyota values. Your ride to the new millennium is here. Are you ready to go? Choose from 1.9% APR for 24 months, 3.9 APR for 36 months, or 4.9 APR for 48 months on all new 2000 Tacomas. Get to Toyotathon 2000, now buying exclusively at your Toyota dealer.
BV, 100 years of passionate winemaking.
The biggest New Year's celebration ever is almost here, and with it comes the biggest New Year's resolution. Presenting Jenny Craig's new Millennium Resolution. This is your last week to get 4 weeks of Jenny Craig for just $29 plus the cost of food. Let Jenny's delicious cuisine and one-on-one consulting help you get thin now. Call 1-800-99-JENNY. That's 1-800-99-JENNY. But hurry, an offer like this only comes around once every 1,000 years.
Welcome back to New Year's Live. The final countdown of the century continues.
We are back at New Year's Live from the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero. The time exactly 11:22. Just think, you have got the best seat in the house for the best value. Free is always good. You could be one of the 100 or so people who paid $75,000 for a supersonic trip aboard the Concorde that left on Christmas Eve, or aboard one of the many ships that will cross the international date line at midnight, then double back again to celebrate the millennium twice. The cost of that once-in-a-lifetime privilege, $30,000 to $115,000. The $30,000, that's the cheap seat. Then again, you could be aboard the Royal Caribbean ship Rhapsody that's anchored right off Treasure Island right now. And Dennis O'Donnell, I'm sure it's nowhere near that kind of money. Well, actually, you know what? We're going to check with him in just a little bit. Right now, though, we're going to go to Brian, who is on the roof out there somewhere around a lot of people, and find out exactly what's happening.
Hello there, Lisa. Yes, we are live on top of the ferry building, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the clock tower of the ferry building, just to bring you up to date on the crowd here, which you can see right across from the ferry building, has swelled to about 100,000. They have been remarkably well behaved. In fact, there have been two big events tonight that really got a rise from the crowd. One was when Mayor Willie Brown showed up just before 11 o'clock tonight, had a few rousing words, got a reaction from the crowd. The other thing that happened was there's one fellow who has persistently tried to climb one of the green street lamps that they put in here when they upgraded the Embarcadero. And the crowd has been egging him on. He's only been able to make it about halfway up. And in terms of anything happening, we've got a perfect view of the crowd and of the paddy wagon that's down below. And we can report a grand total of one person that will be a guest of the city of San Francisco tonight. Aside from that, the crowd is eager in anticipation of the fireworks show that will begin, remember, a little bit before midnight. At about 11:57 p.m., they will begin to set off fireworks from both here on the ferry building from 20 different locations, and then from 4 barges that are out in the bay. The fireworks show is going to last about 14 and a half minutes. We will have it live about 35 minutes from now. Live on the Embarcadero, I'm Brian Hackney, and I guess we'll go back inside Party Central and Lisa Canning.
Thank you very much. Someone we haven't had a chance to check in with tonight, Henry Tannenbaum. We're going to see how he's doing over at the Symphony Hall. What's happening?
We've had our own musical pyrotechnics here. It has been a spectacular concert. Something old, something new, lots of great music. But as you can hear, the tenor has changed. Seoul University is playing in the background while they reset the stage for the countdown. Michael Tilton Thomas, music director, Happy New Year. Thank you. Is it different performing on a unique night like this?
Well, it's definitely a party occasion. It's not a kind of ritualistic one. It's more like a kind of let the good times roll occasion.
You've been rolling with them tonight. You guys are having a lot of fun. Is the orchestra Y2K compatible? I think that's the question that everybody wants to know.
Well, let's see. The lights are still on. The embouchures are still buzzing. The fingers are still moving. The bow hairs are still catching the string. All these are good signs.
I think we're safe for another century at least.
Think so.
Now, seriously, you figure 1,000 years ago they were playing lutes and blowing little, wind instruments. What do you think music...
Career change.
A job? What do you think they'll do? 1,000 years from now, what kind of music could they possibly be playing?
I think 1,000 years from now, they will be thinking spontaneous thoughts, and artificial intelligences will be whipping them into an extraordinary sonic confection.
Good.
Which can either be background music or a symphony of earth-shattering proportions, depending on the whim of your desire.
Profundities from Michael Tilton Thomas, who will be out of a job in 1,000 years.
It'll all start right here in San Francisco.
Thank you very much. You're counting down for the new year, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
What comes after 7? Oh.
We're hyped, Lisa. We're hyped. Back to you.
Thank you, Henry, and you're looking mighty dapper tonight. Well, how about a little music to get your jam on? The Pretenders. We're going to join them right now.
1, 2, 3.
Pretenders, oh yeah. Let's toss to Dennis right now on the Royal Rhapsody. See how he's doing.
Yeah, hey Lisa, how's it going? We are, like I say, aboard the Royal Caribbean's Royal Rhapsody ship. Hey, excuse me, where did this get-up come from? Where you from?
We're from Las Vegas.
Is that right? Yeah. And this is an awfully nice outfit tonight. This is only for the 2000, the new millennium?
Yes, of course.
What do you guys want? What? Where's the champagne? Oh, look at that. This is not bad. This is pretty good. I kind of like it. Look at the size of that. A bunch of Las Vegas crowd. I've never heard of people leaving Las Vegas to celebrate a New Year's. In any case, we're aboard the Rhapsody here in the San Francisco Bay. And the whole idea is that when you get to 12 o'clock, we're going to turn our cameras on the bay and show you all the fireworks and everything that's happening. Who do you want to say hello to?
I want to say hello to my mom and dad. I love you.
That feels good. Who's massaging my... Oh, geez. Hey, what up? Okay, let's go back to Lisa. Rhapsody.
We'll have much more celebrations, but first, let's go to the News Center 4 for a news update.
Happy New Year. I'm Anna Duckworth with your News Center 4 Millennium Update. So far, a quiet new year here in the Bay Area. In the East Bay, power has been restored in Oakland. PG&E officials reported a small outage earlier. It wasn't Y2K related. Officials believe random gunfire hit a transformer. The head of the Federal Aviation Administration is in the Bay Area this morning. Jane Garvey arrived in San Francisco just a few hours ago. She flew cross-country from Washington, D.C. to show her confidence in the airlines and Y2K. We'll be back.
Hello? Hey, hold on just a second, honey. You're breaking up.
Hey, sweetie.
I didn't say I want to break up.
No, you can whisper. That's fine, sure.
Bent out of shape with your wireless service? Get digital from GTE Wireless. Talk where you want at a very appetizing price. Just $49 plus tax for a Sony Zuma digital phone. GTE Wireless Digital.
How's that? Any better? No? Okay.
Compaq doesn't build museums. It just helps tomorrow's leaders access tomorrow's technology today. Compaq doesn't publish books. It just introduces our children to the joy of reading. Compaq doesn't make running shoes. It just turns running into a way to serve our neighbors. Compaq doesn't make a lot of things. It just helps make the quality of our lives here in the Bay Area better.
People call it smart, thrilling, the place for values. Toyotathon 2000, the blockbuster event filled with great Toyota values. Your ride to the new millennium is here. Are you ready to go? Choose from 1.9% APR for 24 months, 3.9 APR for 36 months, or 4.9 APR for 48 months on all new 2000 Camrys. Get to Toyotathon 2000, now playing exclusively at your Toyota dealer.
Welcome back to the final countdown on KRON's New Year's Live.
Welcome back, everybody. The time now, 11:35. We're getting closer and closer. And the parties and celebrations are in full swing. Just listen to this. It is definitely a full house right here at the Hyatt in the heart of downtown San Francisco right now. Over at Union Square, the stage is also rocking. And Johnny, you've got a front row seat. How's it going?
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Here we are, back again at the Union Square. It's pretty insane here. There are about 10,000 people. They're waving these sort of glow sticks. Reverend Cecil has been having various members of the Glide Memorial Ensemble come out, sing solos. It's an incredible time. About an hour, 2 hours ago, people were freezing and huddled up. People had their coats off. They're dancing. It's incredible. The ensemble will sing for a while longer. We've got fireworks going off the top of the St. Francis. It's an incredible setting, actually. I've never seen anything quite like this on New Year's that didn't involve a bunch of crazy people drinking. It's something to see, really. Back to you, Lisa.
Okay, let's head to the other end of the city. There's the dance party in Gare along the Embarcadero. Brian Hatney is on the roof of the ferry building and is able to see everything. Brian?
Hello there, Lisa. We are 3 stories high, and what a sight. Not only the crowd, but also seeing Susan Blake in a sequin gown. It's cold out here, but we're getting warm. As you can see, the crowd out here just swelled to 100,000 people, filling Market Street past the Hyatt, where Lisa Canning is broadcasting to you. Everybody's been pretty well behaved as far as we can see, all in anticipation of a fabulous fireworks show, and also all dependent on the weather. And just as regular as fog in July comes the fog in December. On the very last day of 1999, we do have a low cloud deck. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, but when we go up here, you can see the spotlights in the skies above San Francisco bouncing off a cloud layer that's about 2,200 feet high. And the people who are controlling all of the fireworks from on top of the ferry building say it's not a problem. As long as you can see the towers on either the Golden Gate or the Bay Bridge, they say they can get off a good fireworks show. You'll pardon me if I talk about the weather for a minute, by the way.
the low cloud layer is high enough so that they say it is not going to be a problem tonight for, get this, more than 2,000 fireworks in the space of a computer-controlled, completely choreographed fireworks show featuring more than 2,000 shots in that 14.5 minutes. That will all get underway just before midnight tonight and lasting until about 13 minutes and 45 seconds after midnight. We're about 22 minutes away from that. There are 20 places on top of the ferry building where they're going to be shooting them from. We've got to get off of the top of the building, being evacuated by the crew that will be controlling that fireworks show. So, Lisa, we got to go. I'll see you in the year 2000. Let's go from the party outside to the party inside.
Okay, I'll see you next year. Let's join the San Francisco Symphony right now. Here's Gershwin's I Got Rhythm.
I got rhythm, I got music, I got my man who can ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my man who can ask for anything more. Oh, and trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my back door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams, I got my man who can ask for anything more, who can ask for anything more.
Oh my goodness, I have never quite heard that song done like that before. They are rocking at the Symphony Hall. Well, we are just minutes away from a brand new century. You're never going to forget where you were. Stay right there. We have a whole lot more to come on KRON New Year's Live.
Coming up on Channel 4, we'll visit more with some of the Bay Area's biggest and best parties.
The new millennium and News Center 4 is there. Coverage continues Saturday at 6 on a special daybreak with the celebration cleanup and the latest on any Y2K developments. Don't miss a minute of the millennium. News Center 4, 24-hour news.
It's an urban oasis in the heart of San Francisco. Saturday at 6 on Backroads. See what's blooming at the Yerba Buena Gardens.
Ready? Action.
Backroads, Saturday at 6 on Channel 4.
Shut up! Please, don't get like this. Please, just don't get... Don't get like what? No, come here. Don't get like what? I just get so angry. That's enough from you. Enough. 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 That's enough. I'm going to give you something to scream about. Get over here. Stop crying! You're asking for it again!
For information about how you can help stop domestic violence, call us.
It's okay. You know, it's not a live animal. It's not the shoes that you wanted.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Honey, you gotta see this.
Okay.
You'll find values you never believed possible.
You like it?
A 10. The December to Remember sales event ends January 3rd. Missing it would definitely spoil the surprise. See your Northern California Lexus dealer.
Welcome back to Channel 4's Party of the Century on New Year's Live, brought to you by Lexus. Who knew driving a Lexus could feel so exhilarating?
Oh, look at all those people. You know, they said over 70% of Americans stayed home. I don't think it happened here in San Francisco. I think they're all in the square. We are back at the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero, and the time right now, 11:43, everybody. We're getting closer and closer. The world could end at midnight, or we'll have to pay our rent on the 1st. Midnight has arrived in most of the world already, and along with it, the extravagant and historic celebrations. The biggest crowd ever came to the party at Sydney Harbor. Tokyo rang in the new year in a traditional manner. Yes, they did. There's Sydney. I want to go there one day. How beautiful. And here comes Tokyo. Yes. Wow. What's he doing? In Moscow, fireworks lit up the sky over Red Square. How gorgeous is that? And in St. Basil's Church, that's what that is. And in New York, revelers welcomed in the new year in Times Square. A lot of people came out to see it in Times Square. And to tell you what's going to be happening at the stroke of midnight right here, our final countdown caller, Dave Johnson. Come on over here,
Thanks,
Dave.
Lisa.
How are you doing so far?
I'm doing great. This is great to be calling. You know, I've called the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, Belmont Stakes, Secretariat's Triple Crown, but I have never called the end of a century. Now, we're going to begin our countdown at 11:57, so that's full 3 minutes before midnight. We're going to take you to the Embarcadero, where more than 100,000 people are now packed in to witness the end of an era. Then we're going to go to San Rafael, where thousands of people are rocking in the new year with Bonnie Raitt. Plus, a behind-the-scenes look on the top of the Ferry Building, where crews are getting ready to blow off a laser light and pyrotechnic spectacular. And then on to the celebration at Union Square, followed by, well, a trip over to Davies Symphony Hall. There they are. And after that, we're going to come right back here to the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero. And we're going to be following the fireworks preview when we finally, at midnight, the building's going to explode in a pyrotechnic laser light show extravaganza. I guarantee you, and you too, Lisa, you have never seen anything like it.
You are so amazing. Now, what is your New Year's resolution? Do you have one?
I just want to get there.
We just want to make it to midnight, and I want to take my shoes off as soon as possible.
14 minutes.
Let's head over to Louise Davies Hall and see what's happening with Henry Tannenbaum in the midst of the big, fabulous gala celebration there.
It's a great party on the outside, the beauty of the Civic Center on the inside. Seoul University has changed the tune here. The symphony performed earlier. They did some 19th century stuff, some 20th century stuff, some beautiful performances. Audra McDonald, let me tell you, folks, if you get a chance to hear Audra McDonald perform, three-time Tony winner, do not miss her. She is a superstar. Meanwhile, this is arguably the most elegant of the major events taking place this evening, and as you can see, folks have indeed dressed up for the occasion. They are getting some beautiful outfits, although the headgear is a little bit sudden. Excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me about your hat?
Well, I'm the queen of everything, but everybody gets to celebrate tonight.
Indeed. The haberdashery wear ranges from these crown, which really don't match my hair, so I won't wear them, beautiful outfit. Tell me about your outfit.
Oh, actually, it's rented.
Oh.
I have to be back by midnight.
Or you turn...
You have to go. Cinderella. And Cinderella.
Anyway, the party is terrific, and we'll be back here for a great countdown inside the hall later in the evening. Lisa, back to you.
That is one smart lady. Right now, though, one of my all-time favorite bands. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Huey Lewis and the Huey Lewis and the News. This is the power of love.
Go ahead. Can you beat it? Can you beat it? Can you beat it?
What a party. What's your name?
Joel from Chicago, Illinois. Say hi to everybody.
My name is Trips. Happy New Year, Daniel and Angel.
What's up, baby? San Francisco. Yeah.
As you can see, everybody's having a good time. Midnight is almost here. You got to come back. The final countdown begins.
The clock is ticking, and a new century is only minutes away. Up next on Channel 4, a fireworks extravaganza you'll never forget.
Compact doesn't make coffee. It just makes sure your coffee shop has your favorite Guatemalan roast fresh daily. Compact doesn't sell newspapers. It just helps process the information more efficiently. Compact doesn't make groceries or gasoline. It just makes it more secure and convenient to pay for them. Compact doesn't make a lot of things. It just helps make the quality of our lives here in the Bay Area better.
Hello? Hey, hold on just a second, honey. You're breaking up.
Hey, sweetie.
I didn't say I want to break up.
No, you can whisper. That's fine, sure.
Bent out of shape with your wireless service? Get digital from GTE Wireless. Talk where you want at a very appetizing price. Just $49 plus tax for a Sony Zuma digital phone. GTE Wireless Digital.
How's that? Any better? No? Okay.
It's been an amazing journey we've taken this year. From sand dunes to skyscrapers, you've watched the years unfold on Channel 4. Now, the station that knows the Bay Area best proudly brings you the most complete coverage of the new millennium. Around the Bay or around the world, you won't miss a thing. Stay with us. News Center 4, 24-hour news. With you through the past, with you for the future. Because the best is yet to come.
Welcome back to Channel 4's New Year's Live. Uncork the champagne. The midnight moment is almost here.
The final countdown is on the way. We are just minutes away from a brand new century. Let's put a quick status report right now and see how the countdown is proceeding at our party location. Well, at midnight here at the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero, 20,000 balloons will drop from the 17-story atrium ceiling. Confetti cannons will fire and glitter will sparkle everywhere. And this crowd is definitely ready for that. Right now, the moment we've been waiting for, the final countdown is about to begin. And here to take us into the year 2000 is the voice of the Kentucky Derby, Belmont, and Preakness horse races, our very own Dave Johnson.
Hey.
Come on over here.
Hey, Lisa, first of all, I understand Dennis has some thrilling news for us. Dennis, what's going on?
Yeah, hello you guys, how you doing? We are aboard the cruise ship Rhapsody. Let me just show you what's going on down near the pool deck right there. And they're dancing to the song You Send Me, which is just moments away, of course, from the New Year's. Now, as I mentioned, we are on the cruise ship. Come here. This young lady here gave me a glass of champagne. To what do I owe this?
I just wanted to wish everybody from the LA County Fire Department to all the firemen in the world.
And thank you for the champagne. All right, we're going to turn the camera around and show you what the fireworks look like from the ship on the shore. Back to you guys.
Dennis, surrounded by all the girls. Well, this is it, the thrilling countdown to the new century and the last exciting moments of 1999. First, though, let's throw it over to Susan. She is in Santa Rafael. See how she's doing.
Okay, Bonnie's getting them all amped up here. We are into the final countdown into 2000 in just a few minutes. Master of Ceremonies, Michael Pritchard, is going to take the stage with Bonnie, and then they'll begin the countdown. The balloons will come down. We'll have a great time. Okay, let's go to Henry now, who's been at the symphony this evening.
Thank you, Susan. We are getting ready. We're getting the horns tuned up. On the inside, the Peter Minton Orchestra is playing. People have gathered on the stage to count down to the big moment. Michael Tilson Thomas will take us there. And let me tell you, this may be a symphony hall, but folks here are jazzed. Lisa, back to you.
All right, to bring us into the new millennium, the brand new year, I'm about to say 19, but that's over.
It's over.
Year 2000.
In fact, it's 11:56:17, so it's about 45 seconds to the time we're going to start our countdown. Hey, you know, right before a race, Lisa, the starter says to the jockeys, "Are you all tied on?" Because if they're not tied on, something's going to happen. Well, folks out there, are you tied on? Because we've got a race. Actually, it's the race of the year because we're racing to the year 2000. Let's ask the folks here, are you tied on?
They'll say yes to anything at this point, Dave.
Okay, this is it, the thrilling countdown to the new century. The last exciting minutes of 99, and we want everybody to just jump into 2000. Let's see what happens here in the Bay Area. It's starting already. The lights have dimmed at the Ferry Building as 1999 winds down to a close. The crowd at the Embarcadero, wow, getting ready for the big fireworks extravaganza that will herald the new century. Then we have the first flash. The pyrotechnics have started, beginning low and getting brighter and brighter as we get closer to midnight. Now, the Ferry Building tower and lights are beginning to come on in preparation for the climactic midnight moment. And standing there, looking over it all, is the majestic ferry building clock, keeping track, waiting for the midnight that we've been 100 years in the making. And there at Union Station, 10,000 people have gathered to watch the Glide Memorial Ensemble rock into the new year. Oh, back at the ferry building, the final countdown continues with the addition of lights and lasers sweeping the crowd, building up to that special moment at 12 o'clock when the sky will explode with fireworks. And those clock hands, they're creeping ever closer to the number 12, ticking away the final seconds of 1999. Less than 2 minutes to go before the new year, folks. And over at Louise Davies Symphony Hall, the celebration already underway as at midnight, thousands of gold star-shaped Mylar balloons going to float down from the ceiling at the crucial moment after a countdown led by who, of course? Conductor Michael Tilson Thomas. And behind the stage at Union Square and in front of the historic Westin St. Francis on Powell Street, fireworks will fire off the beginning of the new century. Just a minute and a half away, and the crowd at the Embarcadero is pumped up. Over 100,000 people lining the streets, waiting to celebrate the first moments of the year 2000. We've got a minute and 3 seconds to go. And at the Hyatt Regency Embarcadero, thousands of partygoers jammed into the atrium behind us, and they're waiting for that special moment at midnight when 20,000 balloons are going to drop from the ceiling. One of the biggest balloon drops in the country. And at San Rafael, the countdown is underway. Bonnie Raitt will be joined by MC Michael Pritchard as they lead the fans there into the new year. Oh, look at this. Less than a minute, the final countdown of the 20th century at the Embarcadero, the ferry building coming alive with a trifecta of laser lights and pyrotechnics, bringing us closer and closer to midnight. At Union Square, the Glide Ensemble is in place, ready to sing the first strains of Auld Lang Syne to welcome in the new year. And look at the poolside deck of the Royal Caribbean Rhapsody. They're ready for midnight. Laser lights, pyrotechnics, and down the stretch they come. Count with us, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year and happy 2000.
Unbelievable. What a night. What a night. Whole lot of people out to enjoy and celebrate.
Lisa, we actually made it. And you have earned yourself just a little sip of champagne.
We absolutely have to toast. It's a new century, for goodness sake.
Listen, let me make the first toast on this broadcast, okay?
Well, I would like to know what Dave Thomas would have to say on this toast.
Well, Dave Johnson will say, the best is yet to come.
I haven't even had a sip of champagne, and I can't get the names right anymore, Dave.
All the best. Happy New Year.
Happy new century to you.
Happy 2000 to you.
With midnight comes the
best is yet to
Y2K.
come.
The Y2K is here, and it's on the West Coast, right here. Right now, though, we're going to go to the news center for a news update.
Happy New Year. I'm Anna Duckworth with your News Center for Millennium Update. The San Francisco Embarcadero was lit by fireworks as an estimated 250,000 people greeted the year 2000. About 3,000 more gathered for an interfaith celebration at Union Square. Police in the city say they made about 100 arrests, some for vandalism, some for public intoxication. More updates in a half an hour.
Save in every department at Circuit City's New Year's sale. Pay no interest till January 2001 on all purchases $2.99 and up. Don't miss the savings at Circuit City's New Year's sale.
Today on IHOP Revealed, we'll uncover how they really come up with wacky IHOP breakfast names. Behind IHOP scenes, we found this panel of supposed breakfast naming geniuses. But our hidden cameras reveal that these masterminds simply pulled